Let's go to the beach, eat, let's go get away. They say what they gonna say. Have a drink, clink, found the Bud Light. Bad bitches like me, it's hard to come by. The Patron, let's go get it on. The sound, get some in the zone. Is it 2, 3? Leave a good tip. I'ma blow all of my money and don't give a shit. On the floor, I love to dance, so give me more. Till I can't stand it on the floor. Let me show you that shit. You want more, then here I am.
Hey, this is Redban coming to you live from the Ice House Comedy Club, where once, and then this week we're actually doing it twice. We have another show Friday that's going to be completely insane. So check that out. If you want to go to an Ice House show, go to Ice House's website, icehousecomedy.com, and search for Death Squad. Tonight we have an elite A-list group of people here today. I'm very excited for tonight's show. Let's start off to the right of me, returning. This is like your third time in the last week, Brody.
Yes.
Brody Stevens.
Enjoy it, freshly shaved due to heat and just wanting a change.
HBO's Brody Stevens.
Brody, why don't you tell everyone
HBO
who's here?
Digital.
Okay, I will go to my right.
Are we passing it around?
Well,
Let's do each other's intros.
style?
Let's do tag
intros.
Let's introduce each
We'll do tag team. We'll do tag team.
I can't wait to introduce.
That's what they do at the
Oh,
Comedy
no.
Store. We'll do tag team. To my right, you may know him as a great comedian, a good guy, travels the world, comfortable on several different continents.
Now I understood that.
Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Mr. Tom Rhodes, everybody.
Brody. Thank you, friend. And to my right, Bert Kreischer. No one knows how to use a beard trimmer better than this guy. He's
Great intro, man. I like that.
He's handsome. He's smart. He's jovial. And I'm proud to say he's from Lutz, Florida.
God damn, great intro. Great intro. Hailing out of Arizona. Are you from Arizona, Doug?
No, sir.
Hailing out of Portland, Oregon.
San Diego.
like it.
San Diego's where he's from.
But he's got a road named after him, apparently, in Arizona.
Yes, and if you're driving to Bisbee, Arizona, the road you will get off on is Douglas Benson. Many women have got off on it. He is the curator of Doug Loves Movies. Ladies and gentlemen, Douglas Benson.
Hey, everybody.
Douglas Benson.
Hey,
I like
everybody.
that.
To my right is the curator of The Naughty Show and a gentleman who we opened the show together
I'll get you later.
in San Diego.
Bam. For a
It
guy
was
who
your
sings.
first show ever?
First road gig ever.
Sam Tripoli, everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Sammy.
And the host with the most. Looking good, straight out of some futuristic movie. Please
yeah.
welcome the one, the only Mr. Redban, everybody.
Burbank,
Redban.
bad boy Brian Redban.
Bad boy. Burbank bad boy.
He's got to go find Lilu.
Lilu. Oh, yeah, I have
Fifth Element joke.
Doug, I watched a movie last night, Doug, that I want you to watch. Super, super high, and I want to just record your face in what you say during this movie. It's called oh fuck, I can't even think of it right now. Hold on, then it's a
Well,
Japanese.
first of all, you don't have to ask me to watch a movie high. I'll take care of that.
Well, it's ridiculous. It's actually called Funky Forest. I tweeted a link to buy it. It's a Japanese movie, and I don't know if you were here last week. We played a couple clips from it. It is the most insane. It feels like you're on acid watching this movie.
Oh, you showed
Does
that
it have
to
a
me.
happy
You
ending?
showed me that. That's an
Yeah.
insane film.
Yeah, I'll actually try to find a clip.
Does it have a happy ending?
It doesn't. You'll leave watching it not understanding what you just watched.
It kind of looks like it reminded me of the film that Kim Jong-il tried to make. Did you ever see that? No.
You can see
Kim
that?
Jong-il was such a fan of the movies. He said he owned and had seen every Academy Award-winning film, and he loved film so much. He at one point kidnapped a South Korean director and his wife, movie actress wife, and forced them against their will to make a film in North Korea.
Here's the movie,
And it's one of the worst horror films ever. And it's like a Godzilla movie.
Probably because the director's all in fear the whole time. Just
But you
scared
got
shitless.
you got to think the North Koreans are.
What's up, Dom?
Here's a version of, or a part of the movie where it appears as a kid shoving something in a man's asshole while he's holding on to some weird ET thing. And then, as an example, later there's like this woman, this boobs and this butt, and it's like these guys are hanging from it with all these weird faces, and one of the faces is hasn't masturbated in a while or something, so they're saying that you have to let it release its thing.
How'd you find this, dude?
From YouTube. But check this out.
Wait, none of us speak this language, Brian.
Yeah, Don Irrera's
Hold
here,
on, this
by the
guy's
way.
jerking it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you put in? Gay Asians in the search?
Actually, somebody sent this
Gay Asian horror.
a different
Yeah,
clip to
weird.
me on Twitter, and I needed to find out what this movie was, so I bought it off of the Amazon. And
There's no way I'm
it's
watching
trippy.
this whole movie, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, it's not
I
interesting,
don't want to watch
right?
a whole movie.
Yeah,
of
I
that.
don't. I
pretty
don't think
terrible.
I can't imagine.
I
the
just want to know
plot super
story
strong.
arc. I want to know the
Jesus,
story arc.
when is Sting going to walk in a diaper?
Can we talk about classic films?
Please.
I happened upon flicking through the channels a couple weeks ago, The Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel, 1994.
Oh.
Doesn't he
Great
show
movie.
his penis in that
Oh,
too?
it's so great. This
He's got a-
scene,
he's got a
and he
thick
makes
dick.
these girls like this one. These little teenage girls. He's gonna
love that
give them a
scene.
ticket.
Yeah.
And he spit out your gum. Show me. How you suck your boyfriend off. And he's standing on the side of the road beating off.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
amazing.
seen that. I did.
At every point in that film, you're just like, wow, he really is a bad lieutenant.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
You turned it off, and you're like aptly named.
Did anybody see the remake with Nick Cage?
No.
No,
Because
no,
people rave about it that saw it.
Really? Who?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a
I
masturbation
thought it
scene in there?
was
It's
really
terrible.
poor. I mean, it's
It's
just
Nicolas Cage being crazy, right?
yeah, but like out of nowhere they'll just do some weird like YouTube shit where it's like, why is this shot in this movie? It's like an acid camera or some shit that makes no sense whatsoever. And it's such a classic to be remaking that you really don't want to fuck
Well,
with
it's
it.
so funny
Right,
too
you
to
can't
put a
fuck
weird
with that.
subtitle on it, "Bad Lieutenant, Port of Orleans" or whatever it's called. And that's when Nick Cage got arrested in New Orleans for getting into some sort of brawl when he was
Fight.
down there. They never
At a tattoo parlor, right?
Yeah, but they always make it sound like Nick Cage is just hanging out in New Orleans. They don't like say, "Oh, but he was shooting a movie here." And
Wait,
things
who
got
was
out
the
of
guy?
hand.
Who
Well, in
got
that-
oh, go ahead.
In that Harvey Keitel Bad Lieutenant, this nun gets raped, and she knows the guys who raped her, and she forgives them. And Harvey Keitel's such a scumbag, he can't understand it. And he's been smoking crack, and she leaves. He has this mental breakdown in the church, and he's talking to Jesus on the cross, and he's going, "You rat fuck! You rat fuck!" In the Nicolas Cage version of that film, did he yell, "You rat fuck"?
I
at
don't
a
know,
crucifix?
but he should.
Because
That's
if they
pretty
didn't,
good.
that would be as criminal as Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory not doing the bubble.
I don't
lifted
remember that
drinks.
scene, but I can guarantee you he didn't say that. I guarantee just the political correctness of today. And when was Nick Cage doing an indie artsy flick?
I
When's
heard
last-
he had to sell his castle in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's broke.
I mean, the only reason to really see a Nick Cage movie now is to see how bad the wig is. That's
Yeah.
really the whole point. Is like, are they
Wait,
fucking with
That's
us?
a wig.
Does he know?
Dude doesn't have sideburns most of the time. These
Does he
days.
know or not care, or what's the deal with
I don't
Nick
think-
Cage's hair?
There's something about when you get so rich,
know,
it's almost
Glass
like you want
House
to
is
fuck with
Brody.
people. Oh, like you know
Well,
what
look,
Trump
I shaved
does?
today. My
Yeah.
hair's going.
Yeah, but if you got insanely rich, you would just take roadkill, put it on your head, and just fuck with people by banging hot chicks with the worst fucking wig you got on your head, dude. It's just, I don't know. It's like a weird thing about rich
Wait,
guys.
but no, but there are guys that have them that you don't know that have them. Like Al Pacino has a wig.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Wait, are you guys all fucking with me? Mm-hmm. Okay, but no, but I didn't know he had one, and then all of a sudden I was like, I think he's got a wig on.
Right.
But like, I didn't know he had one. Like, there are really fucking. Let's talk about fucking Joel McHale. That whatever he did, he all of a sudden got fucking hair.
Joe McHale, I
Oh
think
my
he
God.
might have grown it out, but I don't think
No,
he
no,
had
no,
those
no, no, no.
balls.
You
No,
say
no,
he's
no,
got
no,
a
no.
hair procedure?
Are you
He's-
breaking news right now?
No, I'm not. I'm not
Are you
trying-
breaking news on Talk Soup?
Have you heard something at the SAG
Oh my
office?
God!
I
Yes.
saw him today, Joel McHale.
That's
and
not his hair.
I didn't think anything one way or the other about his hair.
Hey,
because I am a man.
Google.
And I don't care about his hair.
Oh well, when you're losing your hair, you pay attention to other people's hair.
what's going
and
on
you
with your
lose their-
hair?
Fucking come on! I'm losing my hair, of course.
Are you gonna? You
It's
should
not
shave
like-
it like Brody.
Turn around. Let's
No,
see.
it's- look.
no.
Have you ever seen your head shaved? Like how it looks like a good shape.
No, I'm not going to shave my head, but I definitely am losing my hair. Once you're losing your hair, you pay attention to other men losing their hair.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Joel McHale was my hero. I went, this guy's he was losing it bad.
Right.
And I was like, but he looks good doing it. And he's going to be the guy to break the fucking mold, and then all of us can lose our hair with grace. And then all of a sudden, he's got fucking Justin Bieber's hair.
I'll tell you who else. Prince William is making male pattern baldness cool.
Fucking God bless that kid.
What about Jason Alexander, who was completely bald, then one day shows up some red carpet
Where's a toupee?
affair with a full-on werewolf head. It's just all fucking fur.
Can you do you know how to Google something and then put it on the
Doesn't
screen,
matter,
son?
right? When you're a celebrity, you can do whatever you want.
I think it does when if you go commit one way to, like, if you walked in and we saw you movies with your look right now, and then you showed up at a movie premiere a year from now with Ross dreads, it might be weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just go from one extreme to another.
Right.
If you're known as the guy who's kind of bald, and now all of a sudden you got a full head of hair, it's
Jason
like,
Alexander
yeah.
has a full head of hair now,
In this thing, he showed up with a full head of hair.
and it wasn't just a
Okay.
silly wig for some reason.
Doug, here you go.
Because that guy's known for being bald. Like, he can't fool anyone.
But if you're doing a comedy movie, they can give you dreadlocks.
Whoa, when was this taken?
That's when he got Talk Soup.
This is evil, this picture.
It's not.
Let
It's
me
what he
see
looked
it.
like.
This is something.
Let me
No
see.
When you're losing
way.
your hair, you look to other men to lose their hair
But he
gracefully.
never
so you
looked
can
like
follow
that.
their
That looks
lead.
like Rob Corddry.
AKA Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis did it, and every dude in the 80s was like, fuck, I can do this. Bill Murray did it. Do you remember how many dudes
Holy
look like
shit,
Bill Murray?
dude, you're right.
I'm not totally right. There are other guys.
So
that
should
we
I
all
have
know.
not
That's
shaved
a
my
weird
head?
picture.
No,
I
you
never
look
picture him
Terry
looking
Bradshaw.
like that.
Terry Bradshaw.
I panicked.
You look for a man to lose his hair with
You don't have
respect.
to- you're fine.
It's
Bro,
like-
So you don't respect Jeremy Piven then?
okay,
Because
honestly, deep
he
down inside,
had
deep
like
down
a lot of
inside-
pressure.
he was practically bald in PCU, and then 10 years later he shows up on Entourage and
And
he's
he-
got hair.
And look, I can't shit on any of these guys for doing it. I would do it if I had whatever it costs to get that done. I would do it, and I believe
$20, yeah.
$20,000. It's expensive.
Mexico.
But I would do it, but I don't have that kind of money, and I can't really justify that to my kids. That whatever I was going to say for you to go to college, I'm putting that in my head. So
But does he doesn't talk about it,
No, none of
Jeremy
those.
Piven.
Jeremy
Just
has
throw
to, he
your
has
kids
to.
out. You don't even have to
I don't
have
think
that
anyone
conversation.
really goes in depth about their hair replacement. I don't
Really?
think there's any interview where they really like to.
Jeremy
be
Piven.
honest.
What do you think? What Jeremy Piven would say if you went? So what's up with your hair? You think he'd just be like, I don't know what you're talking about?
He give you
He'd
dirty
start crying.
looks.
Like we'd start talking like. Really?
There's
You know what
something
he would
about this
do?
picture.
He would do what Jim Everett did to Jim Rohn. He just flipped the table over and start screaming at you.
He probably fucking put me in a chokehold. I think he knows how to fight. But I don't know. That's my thing. So I've been trying to lose my hair gracefully on television, but it does not. It hurts. It's all you see when you watch yourself on TV and you see your bald spot. All I see is that, and then it ruins the show for me. And I can't because I just go, I'm a fucking.
But you're a
old man."
comedian. You're
Yeah,
allowed to.
your career isn't.
Doesn't hinge on my
It's
looks. You're right.
funnier.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
totally right. I agree.
You might even look. You could add even more.
No,
fun.
and that's what's that other guy on the Travel
hoping.
Channel, the big fat bald guy that eats all the weird food.
Adam,
and shit.
Andrew.
Adam Richmond.
No, Adam.
Zimmerman.
Andrew Zimmern. Andrew
Yeah, that's
Zimmern.
fantastic. I mean, and that's the problem we have in this country is this youth culture, and it's what I love about England. You go to England and they still put ugly people on television.
Yes, I love
You
that.
got ugly people. You have overweight people. You have bald people. You have normal people.
And you know they're talented because they're too ugly not to be on. That's the only way they got on television was
Yeah.
that they were really talented.
All right, full disclosure, okay? Since it should be this way. So what I do to my hair is I sprinkle this stuff in it called Super Million Hairs. Have you ever heard of it?
No, is that the spray can thing?
Close. It's a fiber that bonds to your hair.
Oh yeah.
So I do that on my bald spot before I shoot, so that if it catches a bad angle, you see it. The only problem is if you ever watch me shoot, it's
Is that the show?
oh, who's Bert with a
I don't
U?
ever want to watch you shoot.
Hey, Tom, do you feel that like our cable's kind of getting like that? I feel like cable is more and more going towards realistic looking people
I would hope so.
than what network is just like everyone's got to be like incredibly good looking.
a
But
really
all the
interesting-
great shows like Breaking Bad, those look like your neighbors
Normal
that you
people,
grew up
yeah.
with, And that's why I think people relate to them to a point. As much as you hate like American Idol, I think there's a part of that people relate so much to the early rounds where like the train wrecks are coming in, but they look like them and their friends and all that stuff.
This is a great
I think you're
segue.
right.
This is a great segue to my new favorite program. Enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
I love it, dude.
It's amazing, and you know what I say. Well, you know what I've said this to everyone, and I've said it ad nauseum. But you know what I like about it is it's honest, it's funny, it's real, it's everything that is supposed to be in reality. Like reality these days, like sit down, like what are we gonna do today? It's not reality. It seems like a documentary, and it seems like it captured every part of you. The first part, it's like the reason everyone loves Brody, and then at the end of the first episode, it shows what you went through.
Right.
And then I said this to Sarah Silverman last night. I was like, the best part was like, in the middle of the second episode, there is a second where you think to yourself, hold on, are they exploiting Brody? And then the second you think that, it turns around and you start laughing again. And you're like, oh, this is about his journey. This is about him getting through that, getting to it. And the end when you have your Conan set, and then when you're standing on the thing, I'm literally almost in tears. I'm going, fuck, that was a great piece of art. It was honest. It showed every fucking flaw you had. Like, you know, it was so great. And I think that's what I think, Sam, that's what I agree with you when you say, I want that honesty.
Yeah, you know what I got from that, Brody, is how loved you are. That's what I
Yeah,
got from
I'm
that
lucky.
show. How loved you are. And there was a moment going, man, I don't think I'm as loved as this guy
Fuck
is. Eh.
no.
Yeah. Whoa. Dude, you don't even want to know where you rank.
No, I know. According to this paper, I can tell where I am right there. But I could tell that you are like loved, dude. And that phone call that I hear, because you know when you were going on the Twitter thing, man.
Yeah.
I got really nervous, and I was like, Brody, what's going on? I'm getting a little nervous by these tweets, and then to see the whole thing go through and how everybody really rallied around you. And I don't know if Dave Rath was your manager at the time when it all went down. Was he?
Friend.
He was. Dude,
Friend.
the fact that an ex-manager tried to help you out is a sign of how loved you are. That's just my opinion, man.
You think Barry Katz is going to call up if I'm going through some shit?
I think Barry did call me.
Did he really?
Yeah. People were calling me and checking up on me, and it kind of just like...
Barry called and he's like, you're going through some shit. Does that mean you're not doing the Chelsea gig?
How many people did you tweet that picture of you with the cops? I mean text.
Probably 15 people, 20 people.
I was on that list, motherfuckers.
You got that one with the cops?
Yeah.
I was too, but I thought he was joking or filming something.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I have no. I couldn't put it in any particular context at that time. But
They
then
detained
I
me.
found out things were going on, and yeah, we were all.
Yeah,
I was just
Very
combative.
concerned.
And I, you know, it's like I want to get back to where I was pre-combative. You know, I might have been like ramping up to that, but I did stop my meds cold turkey. You know, that's what made.
I don't think you should ever get off your meds if that's where you go to, dude. You know, it's not like I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, bro. I have a really bad problem with it, so I got to stop doing that. But that's not the same thing, man.
Yeah, well, there are meds that do take your energy away, and you got to adjust them. And they put me on a mood stabilizer. I've been on that since all that went down, and that's messed me up. But I'm able to function, but it's not easy.
Don, why don't you sit over?
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
you
I've
seen
watched it
Jim?
like 3 or 4 times. You know,
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I wasn't in love with it
Really?
because I'm hard on myself. I'm too close to
Yeah,
it. I
you're
like
never-
I liked
Okay.
elements of it.
So I think that everyone's got that in their personality as a comics is you dissect the shit that you did wrong or that you don't think you look good in. But
Right.
but like
Right,
when
like
you
you
guys
said, you
were-
couldn't enjoy it because you only see the bad.
all I
in
see is
yourself.
my bald spot.
Right.
So like it's that. But like when you two are practicing accents,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever laughed so fucking hard.
Oh,
It was one of those moments where it's like I was listening. I was really listening, and then you changed to even funnier. It was great. It was fucking awesome, man.
well, it was my first real thing of doing that's the first real thing of something of that is mine. And now that I've gone through it and I see how people are reacting to it and dealing with not having an audience there. I mean, I did some stand-up on it, but that it's a learn. Yeah, it feels good. So it's a learning. It's a stepping stone. And
You know what didn't work for me, Brody, and I don't mean to bring you down.
Like that. I'm totally kidding. Look at that vulnerable.
You know, for
face.
me, it needed a little less Brody. Like if it was more about somebody else.
I want to learn more about your sister.
Where was Zach's beard? Like, I mean, these are our questions.
He had the mustache. I wanted, I wanted more zany, more comedy. That's what I wanted. I mean, I wanted to do something like, I wish I could, but I'm not. Like something like Chappelle or like Nick Kroll or whoever's doing these crazy sketch things. That's kind of...
Yeah, but this is the beginning of it, bro. You know,
Yeah.
this is the introduction of Brody from warm-up guy in Hollywood, and now the rest of the world can know about it.
Right.
You can't pick. We'd all love to do Chappelle Show. That'd be great. I'd love to do a sitcom, but you can't pick where you work in Hollywood. Hollywood kind of picks where you work, and you show up in that capacity, and next thing you know, that's what you're doing, and you're doing it well. So just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it and see what happens. Could be a season 2. Could be something else. Could be nothing.
It could lead anywhere, though. It's going to feed everything you do forever.
And I'll tell you this, of the other shows on that, when I go on demand and find it, I've heard nothing about those other shows. And not that they're not good. They're probably great, but your show seems to be getting some genuine buzz about it, so hopefully.
Yeah, it feels good, and it's something I did not expect, to be honest with you.
Those people outside shitting their pants when they saw you.
Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
it smelled bad.
You're big in Pasadena, dude.
That's a tough market to crack.
You'd be surprised.
I'm going up first, actually, in the show. I should run in there.
It hasn't started yet. I'll let you know when it starts. But
I'll stay here then.
So we were talking before the podcast even started about Tom Rhodes has a podcast called Tom Rhodes Radio, and the first episode had Doug Stanhope on there. And Bert, you immediately went to this episode for a reason.
Well, I listened to this episode, and I was in a bed on the road, and I listen to podcasts sometimes when I lay in bed and trying to fall asleep. And literally, I sat up when they started talking about them taking mushrooms. I sat up, and when I heard this, I thought, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard recorded. It's just a moment of synchronicity, a moment of serendipity between two people who have been living out on the edge for a very long time, and it blends into something beautiful. I know I'm building it up too much, but if you just play it, it's just as they're describing their experience on mushrooms.
That read philosophy. He read all of them, and he goes, okay, I've figured it out. Now I'm going to move on.
Doug is on an Ambien right now.
That's how I feel about comedy.
And wine.
I've figured
I'm on
it out.
Klonopin.
There's nothing else I can do here except do it for a living and feel like a fraud because I don't know that I have any new ideas.
This is
I
the funniest
spent
thing you ever heard?
No, hold on. It gets to where they start talking about mushrooms. This is actually great.
intellect.
This is when I started really listening.
Suitable host. We
Okay.
ground up another batch of mushrooms with some smoothies and drank them, and within minutes we were clutching to the driveway, clutching to the pavement, trying to hold on to the earth because we thought the earth would spin us off. And I pissed my pants purposely because I couldn't get up and stand. I tried to get up to piss and I fell right back down. And I go, I'm just going to piss my pants. And Bingo was there to be our earth mother, fucking savior. And she watched us and she changed me like a baby when I pissed my pants. And when finally Tom Rhodes erupted a load of vomit across the the driveway, it gave me enough wherewithal to wake up enough that I knew I could stand, and I get up, and he looked at me from all fours with bile dripping from his mouth, and he said to me, "Aren't you glad we did more?"
Wait, keep going. No, Brian.
I just gave birth to the universe.
That's what I remember the most is we had done the second dose at my recommendation, which was a tactical error, and you pissed your pants, and it was the most loving thing I've ever seen any girlfriend or wife do for a man. Bingo, changed your pants and your underwear like changing a baby's diapers, and then I vomited my skulls out, and you were like, "Come on, Tom, you're in your own vomit," and the stars were, and there was
the stars in Arizona, especially Bisbee, it seems like you could jump up and grab them. They're so close.
We're listening to a beautiful
And,
moment between Tom Rhodes and Doug Stanhope.
It's a wonderful moment.
And I'm all there on mushrooms, and I'm lying in my own vomit. And you're like, you got to get out of your own vomit. And I'm like, it's placenta, man. I just gave birth to the universe.
It gets beautiful in a second,
and
Brian.
then Ricky Lee Jones.
Here we go.
Singing, we belong together.
Is Bingo singing?
And it was a classic.
How this happened, I'm dying to know. Keep going.
We belong together.
Stanhope and Rhodes singing together. Fucking. All right. You guys sing again? That was such a. I listened to that and I know that I built it up way too much. But that was such a cool moment to hear you guys explain the mushroom strip and then both be singing together and like both fucking well hammered. It was such a. That's one of my favorite moments in podcasting.
It was a nice
Thank you,
moment.
Bert.
The sound
beautiful.
was great also.
You guys suck each other off afterwards or what?
Joe Rogan, everybody.
Or what? Come on, guys, right?
Rogan, yes, positive energy.
Thanks, Bert. I appreciate that moment of
UFC
love.
staple.
Alpha Brody Stevens, HBO to-go star.
Bam.
Yes, digital media, first guy out there.
You getting positive response from your show? I've heard
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
It
Bert
feels
said it's
good.
amazing.
Have you got any negative? There's got to be some asshole out there going, "Oh,
Why concentrate on that, Sam Tripoli?
well, because
Okay?
it's such
How about you
positive."
think about the positive?
That's
You
all
look
I
at his
just said. You
hashtags,
missed it.
It's all positive.
You're the dude
Real.
in the fucking train that goes, this feels a little rapey. Like, fucking let it happen.
Say it's a little rapey.
I haven't had any hate tweets yet.
Perfect.
Yet, who
Oh,
knows?
way to go.
You just put it out there.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Fucking Gene Simmons got annihilated today. Did you see that?
he go after
Fucking
him?
Death Squad tore Gene Simmons can suck a dick. He fucking fucked with the wrong machine.
Do you think he got it? Do you
I
think it-
nope, he didn't
came
reply.
down?
They were like, his out of touch prick isn't even fucking read. Literally, they assaulted the poor guy.
Well, maybe they should make a. I'm not suggesting this, but if I was suggesting, what I would say is that maybe they should have a Gene must apologize to Bert campaign.
Ooh.
You're upset with Gene
Maybe
Simmons?
we should get a hold of
Fuck
that
Gene
video.
Simmons.
Maybe
Why?
we should get a hold of that
happened?
You
video.
can't say that.
Yeah, I can
Maybe
say
we
that.
can
I
get
can say
all
that.
of
He
What
seems
happened?
like such a sweet,
Fucking hate
mild-mannered,
Gene
normal person.
Yeah, what part? I went, hey, Brian, would you get my buddy into the show, please, next time you head into the show? What?
Oh, yeah.
Next time you go in, will you
going
bring
in
him
right
in? Okay. I brought a
Did you bring a
designated.
posse?
I brought a designated driver. He's my child. We raised him. We bought his bed and his TV, I think. Jared, are you going in?
He's going in.
Bert, so what? Your beef with Gene
Simmons is a prick. I talked about it on Joe's podcast yesterday. He fucking just was an asshole to me, an all-around asshole.
Was he on your
What,
show?
on
Yeah,
Joe's
he was on.
podcast?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on. No, he was on the X show. He treated me like a complete prick, and I was a huge fucking fan.
Wow.
And it ruined it. It ruined it. You know what my wife told me that I forgot to tell on the podcast was at the end. He looked at me and he goes, "Well, do you want a picture?" And I went, "Go fuck yourself," and just walked away. I was like, "What a fucking cunt!"
Wow.
Gene
Wow.
Simmons is a dick.
Ace Frehley's a sweetheart.
That's what I heard. I actually did hear that.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
7.
He's real
Really?
nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Back in the New York groove.
So Gene
So
Simmons
you met
is-
the wrong
he's-
one.
He's known as being
Fucking
that
grow
way.
up.
Everyone's had a. I put Jim. I mentioned Jim Norton, and I didn't mean to put Jim under the. I didn't want to do that.
So
but,
what exactly did he do?
It-
What you said? Hey, Gene, love your work. And
No,
you
no.
Said, hey,
I was
fuck
supposed
stick.
to interview him, and he just was like, I was walked in. It's a long story, and I told you yesterday. I don't want to retell it, but he literally towards the end. This is the end. He wouldn't let me interview him. He wanted a girl to interview him, and then I got to sit on the couch because I was such a fucking fan. And then when the girl's talking to him in between the break and says, Bert's a fan, and I say one word, he goes, "Whoa, we're having a
Did
conversation."
Bert just talk about himself in the third
turn
person?
around.
Oh, he did that?
He does, yeah.
And he made me face the other direction, and everyone was like,
Oh.
was like, whoa. And they had headsets on, and they went, out, and they're like, I think we're
shit.
good. And Gene's like, but I still have license plates I need to sell. Whatever that fucking dickhead said.
Wow.
What?
Another guy, rich guy,
Wasn't a doll.
I had whatever he had. He had dolls and fucking
coffins.
coffins. He's a fucking shill. And he was like, oh, I want to sell this. I want to sell that. And then they
nice
cut.
to you, he would be a marketing genius.
Maybe he was nice to me. Maybe that's his way. Yeah.
Another rich guy with a ridiculous haircut.
Yeah, I could have just.
Boom. There's your theory.
Yeah, just awful haircut, and he's just
He doesn't have
rich.
anything to work with. He's like making magic.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about with Brody.
Right.
It's not like he's doing that on purpose.
I know, but he could cut it and shave it, and
Yeah,
no,
you
but
should
he.
go this way.
I almost shaved mine today, Rogan.
Do it, man. It's awesome.
I was like, it's the last bastion.
What's that stuff Gene Simmons? He must put that stuff in his hair that makes it curly, like makes it glisten.
Jerry curl.
Jerry Curl Juice. Is he down with the Boys in the Hood?
Yeah,
Because the Boys in the Hood are always hard.
they really are.
They pull you hard.
Did everyone feel the same way when they heard the remake that rock band? Because the Boys in the Hood. You were like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
No, I thought it was a bunch of white people trying to be ironic, and they need a kick in the dick.
What happened with that?
All of us agree with Joe, Bert. What else have you got?
I'll say another one.
Hey, does everybody here think children are fucking
Why
assholes?
would everybody agree with you? That's ridiculous. Does everybody agree that this music's awesome? That's not even possible.
That's not possible. There's no one band we can all agree
There's
on.
nothing that everybody agrees on. That's the beautiful thing about taste, personalities, all kinds of other shit, Bert.
Okay.
Yeah, Bert.
Keep it together, bitch.
I said to Rogan yesterday on this podcast, we were talking about riders, and everyone sent me that David Lee Roth rider about why he has a rider, and Joe goes, "Anyone with a fucking rider's an asshole, fucking dick." And I go, "You don't have a rider?" And he goes, "Yes, you did, Joe. Yes, you
I did
did."
not say anybody with a rider's a dick.
You said something to that
I
effect,
said that's pretty crazy. That's pretty silly.
and then
I'll tell you my rider.
yeah.
That's not that complicated. I get wine, food, and coffee.
Wasn't yours Kevin's for a while?
Yeah,
pretty
it's not even
basic. It's
mine.
pretty
That's what
basic.
I forgot to say that. It's not even my rider. I actually don't have a rider. But my agent is Kevin James' agent.
Yeah.
And somehow or another, early on, I got Kevin James' rider.
Really?
Accidentally. So I got there. I was like, why do I have wine? I'm like, why the fuck do I have wine? I didn't ask for wine. This is crazy. And they go, what did you ask for? I'm like, I really didn't ask for anything. But why is there wine and cold cuts? And they said, oh, that's a Kevin James thing. And Kevin James also
Whole
had like,
turkey.
index cards and Sharpies. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. You write your jokes down on the index card before you go up. Like, it helps a lot. When they say when you physically write something down, you retain much more than when you just type it.
Yeah.
So when I have a gig, especially like a big important one, I write shit down now, and I use Kevin's rider. So there you go.
Wow.
So it's not really my rider. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Oh, interesting.
Fruits.
There's a Thanksgiving turkey. Trust me. Hey, can we talk about?
I need a butterball.
Can we talk about how my life was changed last Saturday at the Staples Center?
What happened?
dude,
Holy
so the fights?
Christ! Oh my God, I've never was into UFC or anything.
Oh, dude.
Joe hooks me up on tickets. I lifelong boxing fan. I'll never be able to watch boxing ever again. I'll be watching
Yeah,
boxing
it's like,
going,
why are
kick
they?
him!
Why
Kick
are they
him!"
just punching? Why isn't he just
Oh,
put his
it was
arm around his
so
neck and throw him
incredible.
down?
What a great card to see too.
Yeah,
That
you-
card
you
was
really-
phenomenal.
Oh man,
That was a great night. Yeah.
I was in Rome like a month and a half ago, and you go to the Colosseum, and you imagine what it must have been like, when it was just the bloodthirsty crowds and shit. And man, I love in UFC when like they're going slow paced and the audience boos because they want action and shit, man. It's,
Yeah, no, you can't.
it's
You can't just
tingling.
dance around in the octagon. You gotta.
tingling.
Something's gotta happen.
There was
Well,
this
it's
short
because when they're
Vietnamese
not doing
guy.
it, it's so satisfying.
What was his short
Nam
Nam
Pham.
Fan? Oh my God, he's fighting this guy
He's a great
6'1".
fighter.
He's like 5'6". That dude who was 6'1" got shorter and shorter as the fight went on. This guy was such a great boxer, man, and beat the living shit out of him.
How great is Shogun
He
Rua?
hardly beat the living shit out of him. That was
Well,
a
I
really-
mean, he didn't
that
beat
was
the
a really
shit out of
close
him.
fight, actually. It was a 29-28 split decision.
Well, I was cheering for the little guy, so
I
it
hear
looked
you.
like,
Shogun.
The other guy's a buddy of mine. I actually like them both, but that was a great fight. There was a lot of great fights.
Jesus.
Shogun Rua is such an entertaining fighter. I mean, like every fight he's in is
Crazy wars.
crazy wars.
Well, there was a fight like two before that big
Joe
fight.
Lozon and
What was the guy just
yeah.
flips this dude, goes for a kick and he throws him down and
Mike
three
Swick, yeah.
Mike
three
Swick.
to the face. And I came to the Ice House. I was headlining here, and I talked to this guy here who was working here, and he watched it on TV. And he didn't see this on the television, but that dude was knocked out for a good solid 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, he was out
His
cold.
legs were splayed. They brought in a stretcher.
Yep.
I've never seen a stretcher brought in. I mean, the dude eventually got up, but I mean, he was It was like birds and stars were
You've never been
circling
to a
us.
Sicilian stretcher match? The fake wrestling, they used to have it's a Sicilian stretcher match. You had to go out on a stretcher. But you know what I realized when I saw it, and I had it changed me too, but I realized how much I love violence. It's true. When I saw them, I just loved it, but I hate fake violence. Like, I hate movies that have, like, Joey Pesci beats a 25-year-old kid up.
Right.
Like, a guy's a foot bigger than him. He smacks him. Like, get fucking real. This guy's like 65 years old. I'm sure he could beat that kid up without getting out of breath.
Yeah, really bad fake violence like that is offensive.
I love now how all these like emos are now action heroes now. Like, I think Justin Timberlake's a great entertainer, but he's like this Bond.
Is he an emo?
I would say that he's like seems like I wouldn't say he's necessarily hipster, but he's kind of like singing about love all the time.
Well, he's bringing sexy back.
He is, but it's like he's not exactly a guy you look at like. Like the guy who plays the transporter, like that guy looks like he could walk in and knock some dudes out if he had to.
Jason Statham, yeah.
And Justin Timberlake is a great singer, but I don't see him like going out there
But
swinging.
he's bringing sexy back.
Okay, then
Sexy went away for a while. I don't know if you know. All the time you were fucking, there was no sexy going on.
Let's get sexy. Did you ever see Impractical Jokers? You ever see that show, Impractical Jokers?
No.
If they lose like something they have to do, nobody saw this on True TV?
No.
Well, they have like to do a penalty.
Oh yeah.
And one guy had a penalty where he had to go to a minor league stadium and start a cheer, and they and one of them was "Let's Get Sexy," and they fucking hate him. He goes, "Let's get sexy." He starts, and then the other one was "My wife left me." My wife left me.
Do you remember when Ali G went to a stadium as Borat and sang like
The
a
rodeo.
fake anthem?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Baseball. He went to a baseball game.
That was another
sang
mi-
the
yeah.
national anthem of Kazakhstan.
He did it at a rodeo too,
Fucking
where they were
hilarious.
fucking
Yeah.
rednecks.
He's a bold motherfucker.
Oh yeah, man. I love when he
he's
kept
not
kissing that
afraid.
one Southern guy.
Yeah.
He just kept kissing him, like right cheek, left cheek, right cheek, left.
I heard his new movie sucks though. I heard The Dictator was terrible.
It's hard to keep
What
up
is
that
it?
with the
It's got some good gags in it.
Really? Does
Yeah,
it?
it's cable worthy
Should
when
ask
you're in the
movie
road
guy.
in a hotel.
Yeah, there we go. We went to the movie guy.
Yeah. Bert Kreischer makes his debut on Doug Loves Movies, plopping any minute now.
I would have made everyone in this room irate if you had been in the room.
Why? What happened?
All I did was state everything that was completely incorrect
About movies?
about anything.
I like to think about
That's a good
this is the
strategy.
greatest
I
sound.
Get a
fucking
lot of attention now.
Yeah, according to Bert, Charlize Theron killed her own father. Was that it?
yeah.
That's not true.
Sam Cooke was murdered raping a woman. Princess Leia knocked out all her teeth with a rock in her neighbor's backyard.
That was Margot Kidder.
That was Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder went crazy, right?
Yeah.
and knocked out all her teeth in her
lived
neighbor's
in the
backyard.
bushes for a little
What's
while.
this?
And the
Thank
entire
you.
cast of Archer.
What's Archer?
It's a
Cartoon?
show. Yeah.
It's a cartoon show on FX. It's very funny, but Bert thinks the entire cast lives in Atlanta.
And that pissed off.
And
that
then
guy
we started
Ben.
listing off everybody. John Benjamin's in New York. Aisha Tyler's in L.A.
No one lives in Atlanta.
What show is this?
Fucking.
It's called Archer. It's
pretty
like
good.
a Bond.
It's on FX.
It's like a Bond kind of character cartoon, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a really fun show. I had a really good time.
Why did you state all these fake facts?
I was fucked up.
Be
On
drunk?
Budweiser.
Yeah.
On Budweiser. Cans of Budweiser.
That's an all-American right
Yeah.
there.
How about the pressure you set on Tom and Doug?
Yeah,
He said it was the greatest.
Sorry about
He
that.
said it was the greatest thing he's ever heard in his life. The funniest thing. It's like,
Fucking come on, Tom.
well, once you say that, it's so much pressure.
He's
because
a hyperbolic individual,
big
Bert Kreischer.
things. I
it
like
would've
big
been-
things.
It would have been really enjoyable, but it's like when somebody sets up something. Listen, man, this
the
is the
greatest
funniest fucking
Yeah,
joke.
this
I've
is
ever
going to
heard in
change your life.
Then it's like you can only be let down.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Sorry, Tom.
That's all right. Maybe,
Tom-
maybe my podcast will go from
That's
38
right.
listeners to 43.
You'll definitely get that
Tom,
five-person
are you
bump.
still on the wagon?
Yeah,
Congrats, man.
thanks.
I was thinking about you a lot about the whole because I used to eat Xanax a lot.
This is the exact
Oh, I still take
opposite of the wagon.
Xanax.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm just not drinking.
Oh, yeah, but drinking and Xanax is really dangerous.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I always thought it
Well,
was.
It's a good thing he's not doing the drinking.
More fun facts with Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't fucking listen to anything I
I
say.
didn't take
don't
him
fucking...
but once.
If you love what he thinks about movies, you'll love his theories on
Yeah,
drugs.
no, it's supposed to be a dangerous combo, right?
Really?
Slows
It
the
is,
heart
yeah.
down.
Because I've said forever when people ask me, how do you handle those long flights to like Australia and stuff? Like, are you kidding? 1 Xanax and 2 Bloody Marys? The whole trip's about an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, but I think the majority of people who get in
Yeah.
trouble are the ones that have a few Bloody Marys. No, I'm good, thank you. A few Bloody Marys. canaries and then take one after they've been drinking, because then it hits you all at once. And then, like, if you have a Xanax and then you have drinks, you will pass out before you die.
Yeah.
But if you have been drinking and then you take a Xanax to, like, sleep it off, your heart may stop in the middle of the night. You may stop breathing. That's the dangerous.
If you're a pussy.
But I'm glad, man. Congrats. That's awesome.
You know, it's a month. I mean, I just was drinking too. I was doing like Lost Weekend kind of drinking.
Really?
Yeah, like alone at night, doing shots. My goddaughter lives with me, so she started charging me $20 for a hand job. No, I'm good. $20 for a double shot and $10 for a shot, and that kind of. We started.
But you know,
that slowed it down a little.
You know, you're the canary in the mine though for like guys like me, like you and Attell were the guys that I'd watch and I'd bump into you in like the Delta Crown room and you'd still be drinking. I go, well, as long as Dom's drinking, I'm fine.
Well, David Tell and I, when Mitch died, Mitch Hedberg died, we went out and did
heroin together
to mourn him. Right? Went to what?
Did heroin together?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We did heroin for Mitch, but Attell was drinking. We were at the Comedy Store. He was drinking. What's that? That really shit like cough Jägermeister. He was drinking. Like I finally had. I said, Dave, they're not going to run out of this. Take your time. He was drinking like he was fucking like having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, he had like 10 of them to my
one night where he was looking for an after party. He was at the Improv, hammered up, looking for an after party, and I was like, "Wow, dude, I don't know. I've never needed an after party." You know?
Yeah.
Like, where's the after party?
It's like a nightcap.
Is that code for cocaine?
Where is it?
No, I don't think so. I think he was looking for a place to keep drinking.
He was.
They were kicking him out of the bar. I think his drug of choice was alcohol. He's like much healthier now. It's nice, and he's all obsessed with his work. Like, you know, when I do a show, I even if I really really pay attention to what I'm doing, I could still have a conversation. You know, I can still fuck around on the side. He's like obsessed with his, like when he's doing that show, he's got like one eye on the prize and he just pushes forward. He's really good at that show. That show is really fun.
He's really
It's a great idea. You watch the old porns and you just joke with one of the funniest guys ever.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there shooting the shit, and then an old school porn star comes on. We had Ginger Lynn. She comes on and sits with us, and we talk about sex and talk about, you know, guys that couldn't get it up because they did too much coke, and it was fucking fun, man. It's a great show.
I told you the other day I couldn't jerk off to that girl because I met her.
Of course.
What's her name?
Dana Dearmont.
Bella Dana. Yeah, she was here last week, and I
become a human.
Well, yeah, because it humanized her. It separated the fantasy world from the real world.
Wait,
and I went and I found it was a lesbian video called Girlfriends Films, and I forget what the thing. It was a really good plot, like mother and daughter. So you guys can laugh if you want, but I take it very seriously. Mother and daughter exchange club.
It's a moving story.
Mothers take their daughters. You know that, Joe. And anyway, so I couldn't. I put the video down.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that.
You should
I
maybe you should switch over to anime because then you'll never meet them.
Yeah. No, that doesn't do it for me.
Good for you.
He sees a pencil at a grocery store and goes, because the anime.
Got it.
Joe's not even gonna look at you. He's gonna sit with his back to you.
He's just too silly for me today.
It's a funny thing with porno. You know, when I lived in Amsterdam,
silly.
and I
Did porn?
I came across a
When you were better than everyone, you were living the life over there.
and when I lived there, I popped into one of those porno shops once, and I found this DVD called Dutch Shaving Teens. And all it
that means they split the cost of the shave.
It was 3 hours. There was no.
Hold on. No one got that?
That's hilarious.
They split the cost. They went Dutch.
That's hilarious.
I got it. It's great. I laughed. Why did? I got it. I laughed. I thought I laughed.
Oh fuck! It's gonna.
I
be
just
a
wanted to
long
keep
night.
the story going.
So
It was a great line, but I thought we all got it, Bert.
I'm sorry.
I thought we smiled and laughed, and it was really nice. But I guess Bert wanted to direct that sequence. Let's review that. I don't think that got enough noise. Let's go back on.
That was the funniest line I've ever heard.
Let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it.
It
was
took
insightful.
time to really set in. And what you did is allow us to really think about it more.
That's what I'm here for.
Because Tom wanted to just keep rolling on with his story.
I feel like we failed Tom. I feel like
No,
we failed
it's
that
totally
goal.
fine.
took you into the woods and beat you to death. We just
Hey,
dragged
you
you
know what?
away from the path.
I'm just not happy
I-
till Bert goes to tomato face.
Bert.
I love you guys.
Dude, that Gene Simmons. We love you too, man. That Gene Simmons story was epic. That was epic, man.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe you 100%.
Fuck him.
It's unfortunate. I met him and he was very nice to me, and it was, I
like him too.
It was an honor that he came to my show to me.
You guys went on a Dutch shave together, didn't you?
But if he did that, if he did that, he did that, and,
Of
and
course
you're
he
right.
did.
No, I believe you 100%, man. I think, it's real unfortunate, man, when I think some people get the kind of adulation that guy got for so long, and you could get delusional. I think it can happen. It can happen to the worst of us. It's
gonna happen.
It can happen.
And
Everybody
he only got the adulation when he had the makeup on.
As soon as he lost that, it's
I
just
have
like-
a DVD of Kiss shaving their pubic regions.
Really?
Nice.
You
That's
got a
hot.
lot of shaving
Dutch.
DVDs.
That's hot as fuck.
I'm godfather to two of his kids, Gene Simmons. You knew that, right?
So the
But I
both of
understand
his
your
kids.
point.
You're busy.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know, man. The people do shitty things sometimes. That's a shitty thing to do to a person for sure.
When you meet someone that you love, man, that's the thing. To be
Make you turn around.
He probably sensed about Bert, though, that most people
Well,
in
Bert
his
was
life
crazy.
don't care for him.
Bert's crazy. When I met Bert, I knew right away he was crazy.
Yeah,
But a good crazy.
I'm a good crazy. I'm
yeah,
a fun
well,
crazy.
I was really glad when I got to hang out with you when you first came back on the show. Like I didn't really know you from the time I did the X show until we started hanging out together, doing podcasts.
He's the greatest guy I've ever met.
Dom was on the X show.
President.
You were on the
are.
X
You're
show.
a sweetheart,
Was
bro.
I?
Yeah, you did stand up on the X show. I remember I said this is an honor bringing you on stage. I said I'm a young comic, and you went, and you're bringing me on stage. And I said, yeah, it's great. He just
No.
I walked out.
I had an attitude?
No. You were being
good.
Dom. You were just like fucking
with
like
him.
because you were doing stand up for a staged audience. Judy-
Imagine if Bert was one of those guys who just makes up stories about you.
Yeah, I don't remember
You
this.
took my pants
that
down.
Very could.
You took my pants down and you laughed.
What
You
was the
laughed
X
at my
show?
dick and then you ran
Judy
away.
Brown.
I mean, maybe you were drunk. Maybe you don't remember, but I'll never forget. And fuck you. Imagine if
laughed at
Bert
my
is so
dick.
crazy that he thinks these stories up and then starts thinking of them as memories.
Like
and what if we
Memento?
go back to the X Files? Would it go back to the X show and Gene Simmons was never on?
He's like, I never did the show.
Bert is fucking crazy. Bert's crazy.
No, I had to remind you.
I think you're
Judy
onto
Brown
something, Joe.
Marmel booked the show. It was stand up. It was a
Judy Brown Marmel.
Whoa. Did they hyphenate their names?
Yeah.
They both need beatings.
I was listening to some old
Fucking
Steve
salami
Marmel stuff.
beatings. Nothing that's gonna hurt you.
I like
but maybe
Marmel
someone
by
beat you with
itself.
a big thing of mozzarella cheese. You silly bitch. Change your name. God damn it. You want to get married? Then change your fucking name. The man wins. That is how it goes.
That should be the
That
deal,
is
right?
That's why you're supposed to have male offspring if you can to pass that name along. Okay? It's not a good deal. But guess what? Neither's divorce. Change your name. God damn it.
Yeah, you give up
brown
your
Marmel sounds like an Australian rodent.
Change your name, woman. Submit. Why do I give a fuck? I don't.
Why
Make
is it
a
brown
combo,
Marmel?
man.
Why isn't it the
Make
other
a
way around?
combo name, man. Do whatever you want. I'm just bullshitting. You're
committing to your character. You're committing.
Yeah, it's just a character. I think what is funny though is the mayor of L.A. that's got a fake
Now what are you
name.
gonna look up?
You know, his name is Villaraigosa. You know,
Yeah.
it sounds very Mexican, right?
that's
That's not
awesome.
really his
Fuck,
name.
you guys not even Mexican.
It's a combination of Tony Villar, which is his name, which is what everybody knew him as before he was married, and his wife, which was like, some beautiful
kidding me?
Marigosa name.
Motherfucker.
So he became Villaraigosa, and ready for this? He got divorced and kept the name.
Oh,
Would that
Oh, what a hustle!
A
that be like
politician
Ned?
who's full of shit.
I thought he
What
was
a-
the most full-on Mexican guy in the world with
dude,
that
and
name.
everybody else
I
does
thought
too.
he was
Shit's
Marigosa.
burritos.
And that's back from the days, people were operating like there's no internet or something. Come on, you silly bitch. You can't do that. That's the most ridiculous shit of all time.
that
You
be
can't
like
change
Ned,
your
Joe?
ethnity.
But we're
It's
still all
similar.
hearing it for the
But
first
he, at
time.
least
Comics
so he
do it a
calls
lot.
He's a
him
white guy?
and his wife. If they're together and if you make some crazy deal, what do I give a shit? Go ahead, change your name. But when you keep it after you break up with your wife, that's redonkulous. Your fucking name's Tony Villar, dude. That is so silly. That is beyond silly.
That sounds like a
This
stage
makes
name.
you a different person. This other name.
It's
Comics change their name all the time.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but we're
you
gonna
know,
have to-
like
yeah.
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross.
A lot of the Jewish guys,
but
Larry David,
Ross was
Richard Lewis.
Lipschitz, right?
Wait, what was Larry
Wasn't
David?
it? That is not
Yeah,
Lipschitz.
Hold on, who? What?
Larry
Yeah,
David.
Lip-
Jeff Ross. is-
Lipschultz or
Lipschultz or Lipschitz?
Lipschitz.
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 There's no way someone's name is Lipschitz.
no, no.
What better
Yeah.
comedy
Yes.
name would there be than
Yeah.
Lipschitz?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
assuming you can get
perfect
through
last
high
name
school
for-
without getting your ass kicked.
That's a perfect comedy name.
I think he explained it once that he felt like he was holding himself back because it was too fucked up to pronounce and people were pronouncing it wrong. But that would just be up until everybody knew who he was. Like now everybody knows Jeff Ross. You know, everybody knows him from the roasts. You say that name, Jeff Ross. Everybody knows who that guy is.
It's
Yeah.
weird
If
when
you
he
watch
gets
Comedy
when he
Central.
gets roasted back. Nobody ever brings that up. That'd be a good thing to make fun of him for.
Yeah, he's pretty open about it. He just did it because it was too hard to remember, which totally makes sense.
Reichel.
Like somebody, yeah.
That's why I did my name. It's like, how are people going to Google Reichel? They're never going to be able to get that.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. is just how his last name is pronounced.
Yeah.
Really?
Because it's spelled
Yeah.
S-E-K-E-L-Y. It's like
Yeah,
crazy.
any new
really?
comedians
Yeah, if
could
people,
never
if you look
enter-
at it, you'd say Seekely or something like
Is he
that.
Oh
Jewish?
wow.
Yeah, and it's
Louis
pronounced
Jewish?
C-K.
I think he's German and
Yeah, he's
Mexican.
Jewish and
His
Mexican.
dad's Mexican.
He's
Yeah.
Jewish and Mexican.
It's crazy. Wasn't he born in Mexico?
There's a lot of Jewish Mexicans.
Apparently.
If you go down to Mexico City, you see tons of Hasidic Jews running around.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there are a lot of Jews in Mexico City because that's where a lot of them, fled to.
What's really crazy is the Mormons that set up these colonies in Mexico because they wanted to keep polygamy.
But it wasn't. They went to Utah, but at the time it was Mexico until we won the war. Then we took that land. But they went to Salt Lake, and it was Mexico at the time. The border was much higher. And
What? Salt
yeah.
Lake City was
Right.
Mexico?
But
Yeah, it was in
what
Mexico.
Joe you're talking about is what Mitt Romney's father did,
Yes.
and he went to
Hold
Mexico
up.
so he could have more than.
That's
a
what
few
you're
wives.
talking
yes,
about.
yes, that's a different
Yeah.
thing. When was Salt Lake City, Mexico?
Utah was part of Mexico until they won the
When?
war.
When?
When did the American-Mexican War happen?
1880s. What was that?
Yeah, before that.
1880s?
Really?
Yeah, I saw this yesterday. I was like,
shit.
holy fuck, they were way up there.
Well, all of
Shit.
California, all of
Utah. All of California, all of Texas, really?
It was all Mexico, yeah.
Wow. I knew
Where's Doug
California.
going?
That's Camino
But
Real.
California, Texas, and Utah. Wow.
Arizona, all that was Mexico.
That is crazy when
And they
you really
tried to
stop
make
and think
Utah
about
a humongous state, and people started coming in like, nope, and they boxed them in.
it. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Just think of the idea of fucking creating boundaries for states.
Ooh,
And the fact that all this shit
the
has
fuck did they
happened
do it?
inside of
With the
200
shapes of them.
years.
Yeah.
They have a show on History Channel.
It's amazing.
That it talks exactly that.
I
It's
saw
the
that,
states
how
were formed.
shapes were formed,
It's
yeah.
really fucking fascinating.
Idaho. Who
Yeah.
the fuck figured out Idaho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big strip in the
Yeah, there's a lot of
like an L.
nonsense going on. Well, you know, what's his face? The congressman that used to be a comic? Al
Al
Franken.
Franken.
Al
Oh,
Franken.
yeah, yeah.
Al Franken can draw the country. Like,
That's
he can
crazy.
draw the whole thing without a map.
Really?
Yeah, he just sits there and he draws. He does it right, too. He does Florida. He knows how to draw Connecticut. He do the whole country.
Do you think guys like that might be like borderline like low register autistic?
No, I don't think so because it looks like a struggle. I think it's something he's worked on. Because when he does it, it's like he's really thinking while he's doing it. Let me see. Okay, it's like it takes a little work, but he's a badass.
You wouldn't take that as really smart?
No. I think
No,
autistic.
but apparently,
I think when you hear him
I'm trying not to
doodling
make- I'm
and
not
things
try-
like that help you think.
I'm not
and-
trying to make light of autism. I'm trying to say that what passed off as just interesting and weird as a kid.
Anything that's
It's no.
smarter than Bert is like, this guy's got a disease.
I got the funniest autism story you've ever heard.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I just busted your balls.
There's a funny thing, though, isn't it, that we all assume. I do, too. When someone's a genius, there's some mathematical genius
there's something wrong
especially,
with him?
I always assume he's autistic.
Bill
The guy's
Gates.
gotta be autistic.
He's got to be autistic.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He has to be.
No, I don't think he is.
They're socially awkward.
No,
though.
like low registering.
They're so
low re-
smart they can't
Some of
engage
them-
people. Yeah.
Some of them, yeah. The smartest guy I ever met was John Carmack, and he's the guy who is the lead programmer for id Software, and he makes Doom and Quake and like the really like badass, intense 3D shooter video games, and he's like a real pioneer as far as like 3D imagery and the graphics, and his graphics are incredible in his engines, and he makes engines that other game companies use, and he's just a super genius guy that his spare time literally is a rocket scientist. Literally, he was
In his
involved
spare
in the
time?
in his
That's
spare
hilarious.
time. He works like 16 hours a day. He puts turbochargers into Ferraris. I mean, he's fucking ridiculously smart. He's one of those guys when you're talking to him, I talked to him and he was explaining to me everything that we do here and how we program and how we say. And as he's talking, I'm realizing this guy's operating on he's like several hundred frequencies higher than my shitty fucking Fiat brain is even capable. It's like I'm standing next to a Ferrari. It's like, and my car's like, my brain is like just struggling to comprehend the shit that he's saying.
All you're thinking is this funny?
I'm like, is this some way I could tell this story to someone and make them laugh? He ums a lot. It's just really crazy. He goes, the technology, the way we have it set up, he's got this crazy way of speaking where you can tell his brain is just firing faster than his mouth can even keep up. He's just a super,
what does he do,
super
Joe?
genius. He's a lead programmer for a game company, for a video game company.
Wasn't one of the guys that invented Google? Didn't he start the new space exploration project, like privatizing space travel?
Did he?
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a new company in Long Beach that actually privatized space.
That's the guy who owns
fuck
Virgin
that
Records
ride.
and all that.
I would rather watch a video of you doing it. All right, I'll stay down here for the first 100 years or
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's not
shooting
something you wanna be
rockets
the
through the sky.
pioneer of.
You know what freaks me the fuck out about space travel? I know this is a stupid thing to think of because I'm sure they have it mapped out. But there's so many satellites.
Oh my God!
Have you seen how many fucking satellites there are? There's a map on the internet that shows you all the satellites, and it will make your head hurt. It is like this can't be real. This is craziness. They're everywhere. There's thousands of them in the sky, and you're gonna have to find a way to shoot through that without hitting one of those bitches.
That's gotta be
So you
crazy.
gotta calculate that
Fuck
motherfucker.
that.
They know
For
where
$1
all-
million? No thanks.
They
like
know
a
where all
video
those
game.
satellites are at, and I don't know if all of them are inside what they would consider space, because I don't know if they're probably going to take you to like 300 or 400 miles. That's space. That's considered space, I think. But I think when
just
you
up
get
to like the out of the atmosphere.
yeah, that's space. That's like where the space
Out of the
station
ionosphere.
is.
That's
Imagine
like the
how
end of
fucking
Avengers,
pissed you'd be.
where he just goes
No,
up
the
and falls
view
back
is
down.
So you don't wrap
insane.
around the moon.
Oh, no fucking way, man.
Wait, I
Are
thought
you
they were wrapping
serious?
around. I swear to God, they can't wrap around the moon.
No, that's funny. No fucking way. You know,
Wrap around the moon.
The only people that they think have ever done that. That's so
Whoever
hilarious.
said that, wrap around the moon.
Yo, fucking, just for a quick spin.
Swing by.
Let's do a couple laps.
Wouldn't you assume that we could do that now? Isn't that funny though that we can't really do that?
Why haven't we gone back to the moon?
We haven't gone back to the moon since 1972. Like, why can't we just wrap around the moon real quick?
When are we gonna get at the fucking moon? That we haven't got the other 13 trips.
Whoa, Bert. Well, Bert,
amazing.
since you asked, Silicons, if they ever do decide to set up a mining operation on the moon, they believe there's a lot of precious metal up there.
It probably is.
Yeah, no, they
Probably
know
a lot
there
of
is.
good shit in there.
They know there is. They know there is. There's water up there as well. There's water. There's precious minerals. It's dead.
There's water?
No, yep, there's water.
Could
There's
you imagine
ice.
how
Yeah.
good that water probably tastes?
That's
Probably-
all. This is all like recent too. They've in the last decade they discovered water on the moon. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing, and it's right there. Yeah, we could mine the fucking shit out of that bitch.
Moon water.
But it's not easy to get there, man. If they ever went there at all, which I have my doubts, but that's because I'm retarded.
You really don't think they went?
I don't know. I don't not think they went. I think it's possible that they didn't go. Especially the first mission. It's possible. I don't believe it was or wasn't. I used to be like really stubborn about it. I used to be like, they didn't go to the moon. But the more I watch it, the more I think, you know what? I don't believe it, but I don't not believe
Who
it
was the
either.
first guy
But
to
it
walk on the moon?
seems
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. He was in the Friars Club.
Was he?
And I remember talking to him in a roast going, what the fuck are you afraid of? You've been to the moon. It was going to like scare him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Imagine how fucking cool that is to walk on the moon.
That'd be badass. Just being there.
I met that guy Buzz Aldrin once. Buzz
You would
Aldrin,
think-
he ran around.
Why haven't we?
He's the one who punched Bart Siebel.
I love
Bart
that.
Siebel
But you know-
is the guy that is the documentarian who made the video.
You know what?
Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. Pretty controversial video, but it's got a lot of interesting footage in it, and a lot of the interesting footage it makes it look like the moon.
Where'd you meet Buzz at?
Fake as shit.
You know,
I never.
that's the kind of thing you have to do if your name is Buzz. You have to go
Yeah.
around punching guys.
He
Yeah,
used
well,
to run around Hollywood
where-
chasing pussy all the time.
Really?
Buzz Aldrin. Oh yeah.
Where'd you?
It's a good move, man. If you're an astronaut, fuck it.
At the Roxbury, the old days at the Roxbury.
He was wearing his
Oh,
space
yeah.
suit out to the
Oh
bars.
yeah.
This
with
guy,
an oxygen helmet on.
this guy got really douchey with him and just accused him of faking the moon landing. Wow. All this shit. And so he punched him, man.
Wow.
And he's an old dude. And he still fucking cracked that guy. And the guy was like, "Did you get that? Did you get that?" Like, wanted to know that he got it on camera. Like, wow, it's so crazy. So the people that are behind like the moon landing hoax thing, they're all insane. That's one of the main reasons why, like you got to look at everything they say with a grain of salt. But in my opinion, there's some weirdness to it all.
It's like
the fact that we
walkers.
never go back, the fact that we never go really more than 400 feet above the Earth's surface, except for the Apollo missions. Those are the only time people went way out into deep space and came all the way back. We haven't done that since 1972. It's kind of crazy, man.
Gas is so expensive now, you know.
Truth.
There's not been a single thing from the 1960s. It's not easier, cheaper, and quicker to reproduce today, except the moon landings. It's a weird thing,
It's
man.
amazing we never
There's
been back.
there is some fuckery, man. There's some photos that look fake, and I don't know if they are fake, but I do know that the government did do some of those. They took some of those training photos and blacked out the space behind them, like whatever was behind them, and made it look like they were spacewalk videos or spacewalk photographs, and they got busted doing that.
It's very possible.
They did fake some photos. They know that NASA, at least someone, whether it's publicity people at NASA, decided to do something like that. They do know that they doctored some photos. It doesn't mean that they never went to the moon, but some of those photos are ridiculous, man. These dudes are standing in spotlights. And I know that people have come up with all sorts of excuses for them. And their excuses, my answer to those excuses are, yes, you might be right, but you might be wrong, and that guy might be standing in a spotlight. And I don't think you're sure. And I'm not sure either, but it sure looks like that guy's standing in a spotlight. Why is there a spotlight over this guy when they didn't bring any fucking lighting with them? There's a lot of those photos look fucking staged as shit. When you're talking about dudes taking photographs with a little thing that pokes out from the middle of their chest. And you could say, oh, but they were just really good at it. Please, every shot is fucking perfectly placed. It's all lined up.
Yeah, but
And
there's
some of
probably
them-
like 1,000 shots that they didn't.
No,
Right.
no,
I
there's
hope you
not.
know
They
you-
didn't take that many photos. Not only that, these photos were supposed to have gone through the radiation of deep space and come back with no fucking problems whatsoever. When you couldn't even get your film to go through like the line at the airport, you can't even get it to go through the X-ray machine.
Yeah, and if
without
they
getting
did take
whacked out.
1,000 pictures, when they release them, they go, dude, this is one of 1,000 pictures that we took that day, so people would actually stop bitching that they were faked. You know?
No, I think that most people don't ever bitch that they're faked. And my point of view of it is just purely devil's advocate when I say that they look fake as fuck. But they do.
Well,
they
isn't
do
the-
look fake as
isn't
fuck.
the-
They might not be. It might be just that the photos were bad.
Isn't the rocket ship like made so there's no radiation going through it? Isn't that the whole point?
No,
of
that's what's crazy. There's no shielding.
You're ruining my childhood, Joe.
I don't know
The
if they
pride
did
that I
or
have in
didn't
this
go.
country.
They might have gone.
Hey,
It's very possible they might have gone. Absolutely.
I
No
don't know.
question about it. It makes more sense.
I believe that it could be faked. I don't know if you saw this thing. It was like 3 months ago or something on NPR. This guy had written some book about Area 51 in Arizona and shit. And in this book, he said that the alien landings, what we think were aliens, were actually the Russians were so blown away by War of the Worlds, the radio show that Orson Welles did, that a lot of Americans committed suicide. So they got like mutated orphan children and made them look fucked up and put them in little aircrafts, and they crashed them in Arizona.
Whoa.
So that Americans would think there was an alien landing, but that aliens were actually mutated Russian orphans.
Wow, that is a crazy story. That might be the case. Well, who the fuck?
So, I mean, yeah, maybe everything is faked.
The real problem with the whole Roswell thing, or the idea of UFOs, is when it's this far away from the story. Like, who the fuck knows what really happened? You know, when you're talking about something that happened in 1947, and you're trying to piece together the parts of it. Sam Tripoli, get it together, bitch. We're doing a podcast here. The fuck, Sam?
I mean, unbelievable.
What's the lineup? Sam,
It
Tom.
goes Sam, Tom, me, you, Joe.
Where's Dom going up?
It's
Dom's
so
going up right now.
Okay.
It's so hard to figure out whether or not, those people were telling the truth. You don't know what the circumstances were. You don't know if their stories changed over the years. They're talking to these people in the 1980s and the 1990s about some shit that happened in 47. And they will remember, well, my daddy, I remember he went out to the barn and he said, get the rifle. This is not right. There's something wrong. And they had some things, and it was a piece of metal, and I remember the writing on it, and the writing was not of this world. You're like, sure, you remember that. I barely remember brushing my teeth yesterday. I barely remember yesterday. I'm sure yesterday I brushed my teeth, but I barely remember that shit.
Well, they
and
try
you
to-
remember this stupid thing from 50 years ago?
Well, isn't it weird that it's still such a clandestine area? The whole thing, like they fly flights out of Vegas in a blacked out airplane. They take
In
actual
Area 51?
Yeah, they take employees.
That's
and-
not Roswell, though. Roswell's a different thing. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They take them out there.
Yeah, they take them out there. It's all blacked
It's
out.
right in front of Mandalay Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
there's like
those-
a special airport. Have you seen it? They have like unmarked planes, and they fly the employees to Area 51 every day.
What?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Come on.
No bullshit.
And
them
the
in.
plane's completely.
So if you're working in Area 51, you can like live and party in Vegas every night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And and you take that
How
flight.
lucky you got
and you take-
access to the secrets and.
Well, I think they have a deal with that though, where if you work for Area 51, I mean, obviously this is all who the fuck knows if this guy's telling the truth. There's a guy named Robert Lazar, who was a guy who claimed that he worked on UFOs, and he claimed he was a part of a crew to back engineer UFOs. But they were tuning into his they were like tapping his phones and they found somehow or another, they found something disturbing about his social life. His social life was having problems with his wife or something like that. So they decided that he could be unstable, and they released him. So when they released him, he kept getting his friends together, like, look, I'm not crazy. Look, I want to show you this. They're flying fucking UFOs. And he would get them to this certain area, and they would, and they got arrested. And when he got arrested, then, he made this, these crazy claims about working for the government and making UFOs. But the guy's very, very compelling. But apparently they say he lied about his educational background. And there's, like places he said he worked, but there's no record of him. So it's very fishy. I don't know whether or not he's telling the truth, whether he actually worked there or not.
Wasn't there a lawsuit brought up by people who work at Area 51
what?
against the government for some like kind of labor stuff? And it was like very interesting because it's not supposed to exist.
I think if you work for Area 51, lawsuits are out of the fucking question. That's what I think. I think it has to be like real clear. Like you're here to work. You're here
sign
to
all
work
kinds
for
of
your
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
don't
here
you-
to do
yeah.
some dangerous fucking work for your government. You're here to make some crazy shit that nobody knows about that can go really fast that you can't see with radar, and that can drop bombs on your moms. And
Remember
that's what they
Falcon
make.
and the Snowman? Remember that in the 80s? And he's in that little government bunker and shit. Remember how basic that was? Whatever the fuck they were. I think the drugs or whatever. Imagine, that was the 80s. Imagine how much more complex, underground, secret fucking, monitoring places and things there are.
Check this shit out. In the 1980s, crews at Area 51 dug large open pits and dumped toxic materials in them. They burned the materials using jet fuel and suffered exposure to chemical and fumes. According to a lawsuit that a lot of these guys wanted masks and stuff to wear, the workers requested all this equipment but were denied because of budget concerns. And so there was a lawsuit because of that. The workers that were putting the masks on had to in the 1980s.
Are they building? What are they building there?
military world-ending machines, Brody. They don't know. We don't know what it is. We wouldn't even say that it was real. They denied its existence until I think it was the 1990s. They had to apply for an extension on their borders. They wanted to make it harder to get close because people were like traveling to a certain legal spot where they could still see, like by video camera, they could see the action and watch people fly shit around. And they were like, we can't have this anymore, so we got to move it back. So by moving it back, then they had to admit that the base existed.
Another crazy thing that happened through that lawsuit is that a manual that was leaked or into the lawsuit that was, private info, and that it pretty much said that Area 51 existed, and it got leaked online, and people are saying, that it's fake, but the government asked to get that taken down immediately. So if it was fake, why would they give a fuck?
Well, if it was fake, they would want it taken down because it doesn't really represent what they said.
Joe, have you ever
see that? And even if it's real, they would always want it taken down.
They declared the fake document to be classified information.
But that's
not because they're taking it down for that. They said it was classified information.
I understand, but I think for devil's advocate purposes, I think that's how you can take something down if you're the government. You say it's classified, and you can you can basically just decide that some fake shit that someone wrote about you is classified, and boom, just take it down. You know, I think they could just say that.
Joe, have you ever read a book called Behold the Pale Horse?
Yeah, man. I read it. There's some wackiness in that book, though.
But there is some pretty interesting shit too.
There was
talking about all the school how like they're gonna start showing school shootings all over the news to try to change gun laws, and that book was written like what, late 70s, early 80s, before all that stuff started happening.
Yeah, that's the big theory about all these, like the Sikh shooting. You know, the theory, the conspiracy theory people are all saying that this is something that's staged to take away gun rights.
I think it'll work. I saw it. We were forced to watch a third-term abortion in high school, like the whole class.
Really?
Yep. A third-term abortion where they break the body apart.
Oh my
and
god!
pull it out of her.
God.
Yeah, it was in religion class. And
Why would they do that?
All boys Catholic high school.
That's
horrible.
Could
Catholic
you look
high
away?
school. There you go.
Yeah, you could look away. You could put your
shit.
head on your table. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted. But they put it.
That's
on.
horrible.
You know what's hilarious? That is horrible. But you know what else is horrible? Fucking third-term abortions. That's
Yeah. Well, let me tell you
horrible.
something. I've
the reality.
The
of
kid that
shit.
sat next to me, I won't say his name, but the kid that sat next to me, I ended up. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's had 6 abortions.
Oh.
He's now has kids, and he's stopped having kids, but he's had 6 abortions. I have never gotten anyone pregnant, but I don't know what I would have done in that situation because of that video. I watched that video, and I remember seeing that and thinking that's so brutal. So fucking brutal, man. They break the baby apart and pull it out piece by piece.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
slow this party down.
Sorry.
How fucked is it that that's a reality?
Yeah.
Do
That
they
might
only
be a
do
good
that
idea.
to save the woman? Like what? Or they do?
They won't. I don't. I mean, I don't know anything about fucking abortion laws, but
What are the fucking laws?
And,
It's-
the video
whole
on
thing is
YouTube?
so sick.
No, the video's not on YouTube. Your mom made those cookies?
Yeah, you better. Those better not be pot cookies, son. Don't be lying.
They're real cookies?
Can you imagine if you just thought that was a funny thing to do? Just
dose motherfuckers?
Blast some people through the universe accidentally. The easiest way is some delicious treats.
Have you ever been?
Well, that was electric Kool-Aid acid test. They went down to the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, Ken Kesey, and that was like the late '40s when LSD had just been invented, and they got a hold of it, and they went down to Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and they passed out Kool-Aid, and it was
I wish
so
I
there's
would've
all
been there
these
for that.
families on vacation.
Oh my god!
And all these, and
Seriously?
that's the book Electric Kool-Aid acid test. That's Ken Kesey. They went down, and it's like 1949.
They gave it to kids.
It's like, and so like
gave it
kids
to
and
kids?
families, yeah, they just
Oh
passed
my
out all this
Fucking kidding
Kool-Aid,
me?
free Kool-Aid, and it was laced with LSD.
What
so.
a bunch of assholes!
Exactly. But,
Anyone who
a lot
slept-
of families got to know each other really well that day.
Yeah, but man, that can be devastating if you're
Yeah.
psychologically fragile.
Right, if you had
shouldn't
like
force
issues
someone-
or had
Yeah.
anger, yeah.
You shouldn't force someone to have
What a
any
cock.
kind of experience. What a
I got slipped.
douchebag.
Oh, look at that.
Wow,
That's
nice.
great.
Who made that, man?
Wow.
Steel?
How much did that cost? Was it
Dude,
shipped to
who made
you?
that? Who made that?
Is here that just gave it to me. It's a clock.
That is so
Wow.
dope.
That is awesome.
That's great.
That is so fucking
That's
dope.
straight up
That's
Hitler
insane.
cat.
Oh
You
my
should
God,
you
that's
should
incredible.
auction that off and give the money to charity.
How dare you?
Someone will buy it.
That thing is fucking dope.
Hey,
Oh, I gotta give
okay.
a shout out to whoever the fuck made me the werewolf fucking the gorilla in the ass sculpture out of wrought steel, a welded steel together. It's the most incredible thing. I gotta show it on the next time we
have
do
pictures
a
of
podcast
it?
from my house. It's at my house, man, dude. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen ever.
Werewolf.
So
fucking-
werewolf fucking a gorilla in the ass. It is ridiculous.
I think was there a picture
all
of
like
this
the
that you
imagery.
posted?
It's good. I don't think I posted a picture. I gotta post it when I get back home. I don't know the dude's name, but thank you.
How'd you get it?
Dude, that's awesome.
Dude, that is fucking ridiculous.
Great job.
That is ridiculous, and the fact that it's an actual clock, that's incredible, man.
And I was gonna put lights behind it so it like Death Squad lit up.
Dude,
That is awesome,
that
bro.
That's pretty fucking
so
badass.
sweet.
That's so awesome.
That's so sweet.
Do you have a website or do you have a business or anything? Or
Yeah, what's your 3 sheets?
Yeah.
Oh, let me read that off.
That is
Do
so
you do
awesome.
family portraits? Because I have. Christmas is coming around.
Dude, look at that skull crucifix.
Yeah,
That's
what's
pretty
your
awesome.
website name? What's the website name? 3sheetsmetalartdesign.com.
Yeah,
Well, it's 3sheetsmad.com.
3sheetsmad.com.
That's
3sheetsmad.
badass,
So
dude.
go check it out.
That is
3sheetsmad.com because that is.
Nice
to meet you too, dude.
And every time I hear one of you guys are on a podcast, I try and listen to that guy's podcast. And
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
dude.
while making this stuff.
That's
fucking
awesome, man.
phenomenal.
That's
fucking
amazing.
great.
That's
Great
cool.
job, dude. That's killer.
That's
That is
surreal.
badass.
That's a lot of man hours. We should. I want to ask him because but that he put some fucking work into that.
Yeah, that's like, well, he's an artist too because he nailed it. That is the exact image of that cat. You know, not just nail it, but to nail it. That's Brian's.
That's
artwork.
that cat right there. It's
Yeah,
drawn,
yeah.
but that's done with metal.
Yeah, and he nailed it. I mean, absolutely perfect. Look at
That
it.
took time.
As my
and
daughters say, he nailed it.
Yeah, that's
Nailed
pretty,
it.
that's pretty
Your daughters?
fucking slick. That
My
guy's a
daughters-
real artist,
My
man.
daughters love that. Nailed it.
That is, and it's 3-dimensional too, which is really cool. Like it has depth to it. Like the ears are behind the head, and the hand is in front of the leg, and the leg is in front of the tail.
Joe,
And it's
you
pretty
draw.
fucking sweet.
Do you draw any of your logos?
No, I don't have time to do anything more than I'm already doing.
Drawing does it relax you?
I got no time.
You don't-
no time for fucking around drawing.
It doesn't
things.
relax you. You don't ever get high and just go, oh, I want to draw a little bit.
My problem with drawing is my problem with everything. Once I start doing it, then I'll become obsessed with it. And once I become obsessed with it, then I want to do it all the time. And then it starts to creep into my everyday life. And then I think about drawing all day.
Okay.
Or I will be drawing all day. I have to manage my madness. And so all the things that I really enjoy doing, I have to put them in little places.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise, I just have this fucked up personality when it comes to things. I can't get too excited about things.
I think I spread myself too thin.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're a fun guy. You probably have a lot of interests. You know, and when you have a lot of interests, you know, there's a lot of things that are fun, a lot of things that are interesting to do. So,
Do you get hung over a lot?
Nope.
Yeah, you're blessed. My next door neighbor, where I grew up, that guy can party, and he never hung over.
I actually like being hungover more than I like being sober. Because when I'm hungover, I can have an iced coffee, and I start thinking like crazy, like really great comedy thoughts where you're like, where you hear things wrong, and you're like, and it's almost like manic, and you're just like, yeah, this is what I'm fucking talking about. I love that shit.
That sounds like some science fiction movie where. A
Oh
guy's
my
got-
God, I fucking love you. If I could put you in my mouth. I'm gonna take 3.
Put you in my
Heinekens.
mouth.
I'll take 2.
did you say 3 Heinekens, sir?
Yeah, Joe. We have a
Attaboy,
ways until we're on
Bertie.
stage.
Why? Who's
Joe,
on right now?
I've been good with not drinking. Trying to take care of my body. I took some Alpha Brain this morning to finish up my book
Did
proposal.
you?
Dude, you really don't get like fucking zappy like when you take Alpha Brain?
No, it makes me feel good. Makes me feel like
No, I
my
meant like
brain
I meant
fires
like
up.
right. It starts thinking quicker and a little like you're on top of shit.
Yes, most certainly. Yeah, it definitely makes me think quicker.
I took 2 Alpha Brains, had a cup of coffee, and a fucking.
I need some
I'll get
Alpha
you.
Diet
I'll
Coke.
get you guys some. I'll get you.
I
gotta
fucking raided Joe's
bring
house
some here.
yesterday. Got some New Mood, got some Shroom Tech, got some Shroom Tech Mood, Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech
I can't do the
Moon.
mood, man.
I fucking
weird
tried to steal
dreams.
kettlebells out of his house, but he caught me.
Like I'm humping statues
What is
and
what
shit.
is Alpha Brain? What is it?
Let me, Joe, let me.
Well, you got a new spokesman, Joe.
Okay.
Bert
is-
Kreischer, actual client.
It is. It is a pill that is. Brain. It's a brain pill, and it makes you dream lucidly. A lucid dream is where you're in the middle of a photo shoot in a dream, and they're like, "We need this out of you. We need that." And you stop the photo shoot and you go, "Guys, I know this is a dream, and I know that I'm on the road in Omaha right now, but I'm going to fly to go see my kids because I miss them." And you fucking fly, and then you spend time with your kids in your fucking dream because you control that shit. And then when you write, you take some Alpha Brain, and I believe, and my wife believes, is that I believe it just fucking gets you talking quicker, thinking faster.
All right, let me ask this again, Joe. What's Alpha Brain?
I gotta get a hold of this.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking great.
They're nutrients that are that have been proven to have a positive effect on cognitive function. So it's all like different studies have been done on these different nutrients, and they're showing now. There's quite a few. There's a new one that just came out recently called Sledgeline. And this is another one that I think right now it's only available by prescription. There's a lot of different things that people are coming out with, but a lot of these nutrients, what they do is they increase your brain's ability to produce neurotransmitters. So your brain
Right.
can fire more fluidly, more quickly, more easily. You know that feeling when you're searching for words and you just feel dry, like you're not fucking like, God, I gotta wake up. God, I gotta get.
You're writing and you're
okay.
stopping every 5 seconds. Like, why can't I just fucking
What
type?
what exactly is the difference? What is the difference between you when you're sort of not firing, when you're just waking up, or you when you're really in the groove and when you're really firing on all cylinders? You know, you've been well rested, you're eating well, and you're sitting there in front of the computer and you're really focused and you're in like an hour, so you're already warmed up. You know that feeling where you just, when you're writing, when it just starts flowing,
Yes.
and so you let it come out of you. Well, what is the difference between you when you're struggling and you when it's flowing? There's got to be some sort of a physical difference. What is it? Is it an increased level of certain nutrients? Is it an increased level of vitamins? Is it an increased level of neurotransmitters endogenously? Your own body does it on its own, and you can't alter it at all with vitamins and health. Who the fuck knows? But I've found that when I take vitamins and I take certain nutrients, it has a positive effect on every aspect of my body, and certain ones have a positive effect specifically on the brain. And those are all combined together, and that's what Alpha Brain is.
And
So it's like fuel treatment. When you put the treatment in the gas.
It definitely helps me for sure. But there's other stuff that works too. There's if you're interested in it, man, you should look it up online and just read some articles about it, and like find out like the pros and the cons. Because some people, like, it makes them sick. Some people, it gives them headaches. Like, you can't take too much of it, like, especially right off the bat.
Yeah,
With
you
me,
got
it doesn't
ease
bother
into
me.
it.
Yeah, me, it doesn't bother me. But I've had people say that it gave them a headache. I've had people say that it made them sick.
My cameraman didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
got to
now
eat
and then.
before I have them.
Well, you should do that anyway with everything.
I should eat more.
when you take a vitamin, they don't really absorb correctly unless they're attached to fats and carbohydrates, which is like the natural way that the vitamins would be in your system. So if you just eat a vitamin without anything to go, it just sort of like fucking doesn't exactly know where to go.
Right.
And it still gets absorbed, but apparently it's not nearly as effective as when you have it with something. That's the idea.
Do you have to have a prescription for it? You can't.
No.
What if you
usually
It's
there's
just
bottles laying around
vitamins,
here?
man.
What if
We
you
usually
just
always
have
them.
fried chicken and then eat a vitamin pill? Is that like kind of having vegetables?
Well, you know what, man? Look, fried chicken.
Because that's what I did this morning.
Fried chicken is really not
Eating
good
healthy.
For you.
Really?
It's
good
not
too,
good
bro.
for you.
It's
But
so
fried
good.
chicken with a vitamin is better than fried chicken and no vitamin. That's the truth. Fried chicken's just not a healthy thing to eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brody's taking off.
Powerful.
I love you, Brody.
I can't say it enough. Enjoy it. It's one of my favorite shows, Brody. I hope there's a season 2, and I will be let down if there isn't.
Brody, your show is right for you. Don't be trying to do someone else's show. Are you doing an autograph for somebody? That's so great.
What is it?
It's
Jesus Christ, Joe, did you sell
What
T-shirts?
is that? Like a fucking piss bag or something? What is?
philosophy bag.
Oh shit!
Motherfucker.
Thank you so much.
Hey, what kind of bar tab are we running up over here? Should we do that?
Yeah.
Here you go. Thank you.
She does a lot of work with local orphans.
Why are you bummed out? You know, some people just never be happy.
Who?
They're just people that, no matter what happens in their life, sometimes they don't get happy.
What's this?
Try to make it as legible as possible. Is this still a podcast?
No.
We're on a break.
That's went to shit,
We're on a
son.
break.
Hey, did you see Marvel and Hamlish die?
Marvin Hamlish.
Yeah.
Marvin Hagler, I
He's,
loved it.
he's an EGOT. He's won an
Doug, what
Emmy,
is that?
Tony, Grammy, and Oscar.
One.
What is
Wasn't
that?
that what the guy who was in Miami Vice with Don Johnson said he was going to do as well?
He probably said that. Yeah. What was that actor's name? Philip Baker Thomas or Philip
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Yeah.
What, he said he wanted to win a Tony, a Grammy, and
Well, that was like one of the things where
Really?
people would make fun of him. People were really mean to that guy because, like, Don Johnson, I don't know what he was like as a human, but, you know, Don Johnson went and took off as an actor after that show, and that guy disappeared.
Right.
And so everybody would kind of make fun of the fact that when he was on the show, he said that he wanted to be, like, he wanted to win a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony, he wanted to, like...
He wants to be Jamie Foxx.
That's like predicting a doomsday, the world's going to end day. You should
But there's, every now and then there's a bad motherfucker like a Jamie Foxx type dude that actually can do all that stuff.
But he went 0 for 4. That guy.
Yeah, he
didn't get any of it.
How about Tom Hanks's co-star on Bosom Buddies? Like that guy.
What happened to that guy?
Well, now he's on that new show,
Naked
Girls.
on Girls.
Yeah, now he's on
He
Girls.
had a scene where he was having sex with his wife and the girl's mother in a shower.
Do you like that show?
I do like it.
I do too.
I think you like the sexual frankness of it.
No. I like that. I felt that this is a real comedy that's for the first time written from a girl's perspective. I love all comics. I love different types of comics. I like female comics, but a lot of times when I see some female comics, I feel like it's regurgitated dick jokes from guys. They're like, I'm saying this,
or they're just doing what they need to say to make men enjoy it.
Maybe that's a different way of looking at it, but I felt like when I was watching it, I'm like, wow, this is the first time it was an edgy show that I really felt like this is from a woman's perspective.
Doesn't she write it, star in it,
crazy,
and direct,
talented
like, the whole
young
thing?
woman.
Incredibly intelligent.
Yeah, she does everything.
And a lot of people got mad at her because, like, I guess the main characters, all their parents are really famous people. But that girl that wrote that show is incredibly intelligent and incredibly talented.
Yeah, one of the girls on there is like David Mamet's daughter. And that kind of shit. But I think it's really good. But it's one of those comedies that isn't necessarily a laugh riot every time. It's more just it's just intriguing. You know, like Louis C.K.'s show isn't. He'll go a long time without a laugh, but it's
more real.
It's incredibly engaging.
Did you see the show last week when he was at the funeral with Robin Williams?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
the last ones I saw were the Parker Posey ones, and those were amazing.
Yeah, this last one is just, I won't ruin it if you see it, but there's just one great scene with him and Robin Williams where they go into a strip club. And it's one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in a TV show in history.
That scene with Dane Cook was
and
amazing.
I'm building it up for you, Bert. So
and Robin Williams is playing. Robin Williams is playing himself.
Robin Williams plays himself. Everyone's seen it. They both. There's this club owner that dies that everybody fucking hates. They absolutely hate him, but Louis feels terrible that he's going to be buried and nobody will ever be at his funeral, so he goes.
But Friedman is still alive.
And the only other guy there is Robin Williams.
Too soon.
So
sued. Someone's getting sued.
Too soon.
So Robin Williams is the only other comic that's there. So they end up meeting up, going to a bar, having a drink. And then this club owner always talked about going to the strip club. But everyone hated this guy. Every comic hated him. Everybody hated him. And so they end up going to the strip club this guy always talked about. And all the strippers start crying when they tell him that he died. And so it's like the only person that was upset were the strippers. It's a great scene. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not doing it justice at all.
I think
but it's
Louis.
I do that with jokes too.
I think you just spoiled the whole scene.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more of Cort.
Why did you
describes
tell me the
Louis.
whole show? I don't.
It was shit. I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna say no spoiler, and then you just went with the whole.
Hey,
Spoiler.
Speaking of
Welcome to Spoiler.
All right, I fucked that. I'm sorry.
Speaking of,
How dare you?
Speaking
I
of,
apologize.
speaking of riveting viewing, when I lived in Amsterdam, I bought a DVD and it was called Dutch Shaving Team.
Yes, we're back. Yes, we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Full circle. Hit it, Doug. Hit it with your joke. Oh, motherfucker.
The Dutch joke. The Dutch joke.
It threw the whole thing off track the first time. Why would I do it again? Bert will not let Tom tell this story.
He's ironically beautiful.
So anyway, there was no sex in this thing at all. It was 3 hours of Dutch teenage girls taking off their clothes, and they had a big bush, and then some of them would clip it up with scissors first, and then foam it up with shaving cream, and just meticulously shaving shaving it down. It was just 3 hours of teenage Dutch girls shaving their vaginas, and I had to throw this DVD away because I had stopped having human relationships with people.
Really?
I just all I wanted to do. I stopped hanging out with friends. All I wanted to do was fucking go home and watch this fucking DVD.
Really?
It was so fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Why? It was that good?
It was
Just
fantastic.
shaving?
Just close-up shots of girls meticulously shaving up
Jeez.
their mounds.
Not good enough. I've seen too much.
No, and that big...
Seen too much hands and fists and mouths and asses.
Fists and
spit
mouths.
and saliva, and snot and mascara. And it's just like all over the place.
Spit, snot, sperm, and
Loads.
mascara.
Ass to mouth is standard practice today. I've seen too much, man. Fucking
No,
video
but
where they're
no,
shaving
but that's what I mean.
themselves.
No, but that's what I mean. It was the innocence of it.
That's what you needed?
That was what was so fucking sexy about it. There was
Ew,
no
that's so creepy.
There was no sex in it whatsoever. It
Was
was
she-
just like it was innocent. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's so sick.
That's
What were you
even
thinking
sicker,
of?
right?
You're just grabbing your dick and just, oh yes.
Joe, have
Thinking
you
of what?
ever signed a colostomy bag?
That's a fucking colostomy bag.
Foos.
That's
Whose is it?
exactly
This is
what
a
I
young
thought
lady
it
who
was.
lives near Toledo, Ohio. Came to my show, huge Death Squad fan,
That's
and
what that
said,
is.
and on Twitter she says hashtag no colon still rolling. And
Hashtag
she
no
has a
colon still
colostomy bag
rolling.
that she wanted all the Death Squad people to sign, and they have Death Squad tattoos. She and
Shut
her
up.
boyfriend
Wow.
have they both have their signature my signature tattooed on them because
Holy
they saw my
shit.
show at 420 on Sunday, went
God.
right to the tattoo parlor after I signed them.
God
Seriously?
damn.
Yeah.
That's intense.
I signed her side right above where
That's
the
a soft spot,
bags
too.
go. Yeah. She's tough.
God
And
damn.
now she's getting the whole Death Squad. Dom and Tom.
You know
have
what?
to
I signed
sign
like
it
10
as
of
well.
them today. Sorry.
I'm tired of that
all
shit.
signed
I'm
out.
so tired of that shit.
That's so crazy. Wow.
Can we plug the Paris?
What's the Paris?
It's a Quartz Club. I'm there
Oh,
this
yeah,
Thursday,
yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
and Saturday.
You're there this weekend?
Yeah.
In Vegas?
Where I plan on killing. Hello.
Where's the Palace? Is this
It's
a,
called
is
the
this a
Empire
new one?
Comedy Club.
That's our one at over at we do it at Napoleon's Lounge
How long you been doing that there?
since February.
Since February?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Cort's gig at the Palms before. That was a
That was-
great
that was
gig.
the-
I did a couple of them.
That was the greatest show I've ever had in I've been there 9 years in Vegas, and that's the greatest show I've ever had in my entire life. That was the most fun I've ever
Who
had.
brought you Joe Rogan?
Huh?
Who brought you Joe Rogan?
Ari. Oh, I'm sorry. Dom did. Dom did.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you
No,
very
that
much.
was
man.
that was the funnest night ever.
We always had a good time there, man. It was always fun. You got a great staff there too. Everybody was nice.
Yeah, you guys
It was
had
a
fun.
fun place
That
to
was like
work.
the UFC. It was the Ultimate Fighter finale,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We did it a couple times. We did the smaller room too.
You did the small room, then you
Yeah.
did the great big room once with Joey and
Great big room. You remember when we were there with Harlan Williams and the alarm went off?
Holy fuck!
Harlan's
yeah.
on stage in the middle of his act. First of all, Harlan might be like one of the funniest guys of all time, where you write it down on paper and it just doesn't work
No,
at
it's his
all.
delivery,
There's
totally.
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing on paper, and he's destroying.
That's right, Pumpkin
Hey
Princess.
there, buttercup, sugar, plum lips.
Hey, lumberjack.
Yeah. What's up, pancakes?
He's just nonstop silliness.
But he's so funny too. I mean, he's really like good. You know, he's a really good comic too.
so fucking
He's a lot.
Yeah,
I went
he's
to,
so likable, for real. Like legitimately a great guy.
I went to a party with him and Tom Green a few weeks ago. We were at this party, and they
Oh,
just
wow.
walked around, and all Harlan said all night long was going, "Listen, we're opening an Olive Garden down in La Cienega and Melrose." He goes, "You like garlic bread, honey?" And that's all. It's just come on to every single girl all night long.
Don't let Brian hear. He'll be convinced that he stole it from Brian.
Yeah.
And nobody else can make fun of the Olive Garden.
You know the thing is even better about Harlan is that like I remember when I came out, I was a young comic and I came out and he was talking to Bob Marley and Dane Cook, and he was just so welcoming to like a young comic.
he's a
he
great
wasn't
guy.
a dick.
There's
It's-
nobody that doesn't like Harlan.
Not
Williams.
being
Nobody.
a dick
He's a
goes
great
so fucking far.
It so
Amen,
does.
brother.
Yeah, every
Amen.
time
Write
I
that
see
down,
that guy,
dog.
I would always want to give him a hug. He's always just
Yeah.
a super sweet guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Anyway, he's on stage. This alarm goes off. He's killing, destroying. I mean, laying it down, dude. The place is dying. But he's only on stage for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, and it's not that small alarm. It's like
It's
where a
that
voice
crazy
comes on.
this alarm is, and then the voice comes on and explains.
There was a car in the showroom.
What was what's the alarm?
There was
it doesn't tell you what it is either.
But there was an actual fire at the 9 Steakhouse. Actually, the kitchen caught on fire.
That's what it
was a real fire.
Right.
So it wasn't
Okay.
fucking around fire.
Right.
That's why it went on so long.
Well, what was funny is we were sitting there and we weren't even budging. We were laughing because Harlan's on stage, and Harlan's on stage making fun of the whole thing. So while this alarm's going off, Harlan's like doing his own alarms. He's trying to do stand-up along with it. He fucks around for about 5 minutes until he gives up. But it's like we were just sitting there going, it's not going to be a real alarm.
Yeah.
We just were convinced that it wasn't a we were
'Cause it
convinced
mostly
that
never
nothing
is.
ever happens. It's nothing. Like, what if it was like some shit was going down?
Yeah.
We're sitting here watching this guy make fun.
And then remember it stopped for like 5 minutes, and he started into it again,
Yes.
and then it started up again,
Yes.
and he kind of started. But he stayed up there for like 15 minutes while that
Was
thing
it
went off.
15? It was,
Yeah.
but whatever it was hilarious.
ballsy.
It was fucking hilarious. But he's just that dude, you know. Harlan can make fun of anything. Like you can go. I really believe he can go on stage with no material and do an hour. I don't think he'd have any problem with that. Where are you from, sir? With the Texas baseball hat, fella. You know, he would just find something really ridiculous about, you know, buttercup pumpkin.
Did you ever talk seriously to him?
I don't think I have.
I haven't.
I have a little bit. Like
No,
he gets
I mean, I have
he's
like
a little
little.
less. He's a little less of that off stage, but he is kind of that guy.
Yeah,
like
I never
it's,
talked.
It's similar.
I never had like a conversation where I felt. I mean, he's very funny. I like him like you guys like
You
him.
didn't
but-
feel like vulnerability or reality from him, like that kind of shit.
I have quite a few.
Did you guys
he's
make
pretty-
out?
No, just touch. You know,
Touch?
just touching, light touching.
Once in your life, you find.
Higher, Joe. Higher.
He's he's a really great guy. It's so nice being a comedian. And
He was on the X show,
meeting so many cool people like that.
Howard Williams.
Yeah, great dude.
I was never on that show.
You were on that show, Tom.
I believe you.
I
I'm
swear to
kidding.
God, you
Busting
were.
your balls.
No, but I looked on your IMDb. It wasn't on there.
Really?
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
that's
really were.
hilarious.
You really
What was
were.
it on? Comedy Central?
No, it was on FX.
It was you, Gary Valentine.
Me, Gary Valentine, Daphne Brogdon, and Craig J. Jackson. And we do stand up.
In my rider, it says I can't work with Gary Valentine. That's one of the only demands I have.
Gary
Silly
Valentine
demand.
is one of the more joyous people I'm around.
He's a great guy.
I fucking love that guy.
He's a great guy. He's a
Did I ever
fun
t-
dude.
did I ever
I've
tell
known
you-
that guy for 20 plus years.
Did I ever tell you about the time that we put Mike Burton in the back of my truck? We one time Gary Valentine, me, Scott Henry, and Mike Burton are drinking at Formosa, and we all decided to go to Vegas. And Mike Burton, who I don't
That's
know if you
always
guys,
a good move.
Yeah.
If you
Mike
drink
Burton
it.
goes, "I'm not going," and fucking Gary's pissed. Come on, Burton, go. No, I can't go. Come on, Burton. So we go, Gary, go to your house, pack your shit. We'll try to convince Burton. In the drive over, we convinced Burton. We're in my truck. I had a Navigator at the time. Burton, I go, Burton is a great idea. Hide in the way back, okay? And then we'll surprise Gary with the fact that you're coming. Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, it'll be a Greek surprise. He goes, perfect. So he hides in the way back. We put luggage on him. Gary pulls up, hops in the car, and he goes, where's Burton? And we're like, he decided not to go. And he goes, let me tell you something. That's why this guy is not going to be successful in comedy. That's why. I can't even tell him as a friend that I can't watch his act. Honestly, I can't even tell him. And me and Scott Henry up front like, oh, fuck. All of a sudden, we see Burton pop up in the back and just start listening. He talked about his Mike Burton's comedy for like fucking 10 minutes. And finally, I'm trying to interrupt him to tell him to get me a beer in the back. And he fucking finally turns around, grabs a beer, and he goes, Bertsky, when are we going to tell me he's in the fucking back? I go, sorry, Gary. And so then they hashed it out the rest of the ride to fucking Vegas.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty of you to not just shut it down.
Listen, dude, you had an obligation. You're the man with the information. You
Yes.
should have immediately said that guy's in the back. How dare you?
Yeah, I should have.
How dare you, Bert? You allowed a dude to get it.
They had a good conversation.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all.
such a-
Bert is just about a good story. He
I'm
will
just
sit
about
back
a
and
good
watch
story.
it happen.
it to
I gotta
happen.
fucking do 20 chapters. You kidding me? I'm trying to create stories.
He allowed it to happen.
I'm looking for a fucking hardcore party where I can write about it because I'm fucking wrapped. Doug, have you been tweeting lately?
Not since
It doesn't
the
always
podcast
have
started.
to. Doesn't always have to be you talking about things you see. You know, it could be what's going on.
Stories.
In your head.
The stories in books tend to be the smaller ones. The ones that are just acorns are much more interesting to write about. The machine story was super hard to write about. Like that was a really difficult story because so many people have heard it that it's never going to live up to what you heard. You know, like the Tracy Morgan story was really hard to write because it's fucking. it's out there. It's like everyone's got their version in their head.
Right.
So my editor was like, yeah, they're good.
Yeah, everyone has heard that story.
Not everyone, but definitely the people that bought the book.
My mom does not know that story.
Do let's not talk about your mom.
Do you have any Doug Stanhope?
Would she read his book?
Yep. If I tell her to.
What's your mom's name?
None of your business on the internet.
Bert, do you have any
internet?
Do you have any Doug Stanhope, Tom Rhodes stories?
Dom,
I walked in late on that.
I wish I could be that kind of funny. Like you and Doug are funny. Like you say what you say is
Don't
funny.
you disarm me with compliments.
But I'm like more like I don't know what kind of funny I am. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it.
I can explain it. You're clever. You're not like laugh out loud funny. But you're intelligent. You're very bright. You'd be a good writer for funnier people.
You should write for Jeff Dunham's puppets.
One of them,
The terrorist.
Yeah. Ahmed. Yeah.
Do you remember the time I showed my dick to you in Cowhead's studio?
What is this?
Do I remember it?
No, wait, do you really remember that?
No.
Okay, you were doing
You know
radio.
how many guys would show me their dicks at Cowhead Studio?
Bro, Don Marrera's from Philly.
This was old. This was in Tampa a long time ago. You were doing radio with a guy named Cowhead. You know
Yeah, I remember Cowhead. I like him.
You were doing radio, and I said, and I just got totally naked, and then pressed my body up against that glass door.
Yeah.
And I started knocking like from fucking say anything. And you casually turned around and you went back and you went, "That is the thinnest penis I've ever seen in my entire life," and the saddest balls.
Who does a small dick joke about themselves? God
No,
bless
you said it. You said it.
No, but you're
I
telling-
think Howard Stern made a career out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Doug, have you been tweeting lately?
Why do you keep asking me that?
Just wondering.
Because he loves you. He loves you and he's close to you.
Is there some gag you've perpetrated?
I tweeted.
Did you went on my phone? He keeps borrowing my phone to look up stuff. Like he doesn't have his own phone.
I might have left my phone at home.
And then
I was
you
looking up Dom's
tweeted
IMDb.
something stupid on my behalf.
What did he tweet?
I gotta find it.
He's
now.
trying to be cute. Look at him, the fuck.
Yeah,
I said,
it's adorable.
Everyone, please follow Bert Kreischer. He's a true inspiration as a comedian.
Oh,
yeah. I think somebody already retweeted something like, "That's not even Doug that wrote that."
Are you serious?
Yep. Yeah. The people that follow Benson are smarter than the people that follow you, Bert.
Wait, the same people that follow they're your followers too.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'm
somebody-
separating them.
Somebody wrote a personal shout out for Doug Benson. You must be high.
silly Bert.
I love when you get a trick over on somebody. Like, what's the best little gag you've ever played on?
That was a shit one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh no, but it was fun when he didn't know, and I had the secret
for
to
you.
myself.
I did
Fun
something
for
very
you.
similar to what you
Fun
did.
for you,
What'd
son
you
of a
do?
bee.
It was fun when I didn't know. Where do I
Fun for you,
delete
you
this
son
thing?
of a
Don't
bee.
delete it. Come on, maybe it'll be more
Delete it.
followers for me.
I'll write something else nice about you.
What
That's
you really want,
my
man?
actual
You just
thing.
want followers, bro?
No, oh, you don't think about your million, getting to a million?
Yes, I do, but I'm not that way. Not by hijacking Doug Benson's Twitter account, you fuck.
I write about you anyway.
Yeah,
I
me
even
too.
spell it right.
Just take it when you deserve it.
Kreischer.
You can't be stealing.
Oh fuck!
Can't be stealing attention.
I'm fucking
You needy bitch.
So Dom, what was your great gag?
Oh, it was kind of mean. A friend of mine was at an audition with me, and I went and called another friend of ours, and I said, I heard his name Mark Schiff. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
He said, I heard Schiff. You could hear the walls are real thin. You could hear him acting. I said, I got it, and I'm totally bullshitting. I go, he's actually a pretty good actor. And Schiff's on the line with me, and this guy Schaefer goes, I love Schiff, and I think he's a great comedian, but I don't think he's much of an actor, right? And he starts talking about how bad an actor he is, and he's on the line. And Schiff, even though we were part of a joke, got mad at Schaefer for saying he was a bad actor. But then we did it to Schaefer like 5 other times because he was so fucking vulnerable and so stupid. What do you think about his acting? I don't think he's much of an actor. And he's on the fucking phone.
Oh, God.
It's mean shit, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I did something to Bobby Slayton. Did I tell you this?
No.
About the money?
What?
I love hope he doesn't listen. He goes.
He listens.
He said, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Well, if he hears it.
Bobby Slayton?
He said, he asked me how much I got for this gig, right? And it was a morning gig with all the radio guys. And so it's a good gig. It was like, I said, the only thing I want to fly first class. And they said, we can only give you $5,000. I go, fine, 20 minutes in the morning. right? You know, like you know how hard it is to make $5 grand in the real world. I don't mean to sound obnoxious about it. Anyway, so Bobby says, "How'd you get the fucking gig? Everything's weird. How'd you get this? Would you?" I said, "He said, what should I ask for? What'd you get?" I said, "Well, Bob, you got to ask for at least 10, right?" And he goes, "Is that what they gave you?" I go, "Bob, they gave me much more than 10. I'm saying you should ask for 10." And that's the way I left it. Like, what, me? Are you kidding? I got fucking 35,000. Bob, 10's good for you at your level.
So does he bite?
Well, he did bite, but I don't know. You know, I don't know. Like if he hears this, it's going to be off. But
Dom also tricked him into playing Hooters for 2 years.
No, why did you?
Hooters? Oh man, I'll take that gig in a second.
Did you do that just because you thought it was stupid that he was asking you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did it to bust his balls. I mean, because he always like whatever.
That's a weird question. Like, how much did you get?
Anything I've ever gotten, he's always going, "How'd you get that?" like it's a surprise that like when I did that. You remember Full Frontal Comedy?
I think that's a figure of speech with him.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean?
But he wanted to be the host of Full Frontal.
Yeah.
And he ended up being the announcer. And he couldn't get over it. He didn't get the gig.
Remember John Mulrooney? He's another host of that.
He was Comic Strip Live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about
we were talking
Wayne.
about Wayne Cotter. And then John Mulrooney. Was John Mulrooney the original one?
I think he was.
He went back to being a cop, you know.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious. He
That's
called me
so
up.
funny, that guy.
He's so fucking funny. He called me up in a room in PeteeC, and I was only there for an hour. So I just went and watched basketball. Called up, Mr. Irrera, you have to leave the room. We'll move you to a smoking room. I said, I don't smoke. He goes, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Irrera. You have to go. And I said, well, I was only here for another 45 fucking minutes. Mr. Irrera, I'm coming right down there now. I said, well, come down. And it was fucking Mulrooney. Dressed as a cop.
That guy's hilarious.
He's
But
so silly.
he was one of the. He had that split hosting Arsenio's show when he left or whatever. Or like no, it was Fox's Late Show when they had it when they were trying to get into late night, and they split it up where John Mulrooney and another guy, a black dude, would each have a couple of nights.
Right.
And it was really poorly received, and so he really went back to being a cop.
Oh, and then he says to me, he goes, I know smoking's an addiction, Mr. Irrera, but we have to address our addictions. I said, I don't smoke. I don't give a fuck. He goes, I know. People are in denial over the smoking, and like he's fucking crazy. Then when I saw it was him, I was really duped, but he was funny.
Yeah, he was a funny guy. He was a good comic. And I guess he just decided to not do it anymore. I don't know what happened.
I think he hit a couple walls. He got frustrated. We had a pilot that ABC just fucked up. It was real funny that those guys wrote it, and I think he couldn't take the hits. You know how you have to take certain punches in this business?
Yeah. You know what, Dominic? This is what I think. I think comics only got into acting because that was the way to get big. That was the way to get really famous. And, you know, that was the way to make a lot of money. But I think now all they have to do is just be comics. Because of the internet, because you can promote yourself on the internet, especially promote yourself through something like this. Something like whatever we call Death Squad. I said everybody can. You get famous. You don't need to do anything else. Like,
it's great. We were talking about that, Joe. How they've taken so much power away from the networks.
Yeah.
And now with podcasts, when I told you I met those kids in Ireland, it was pretty fucking cool. Dom Irrera, 20-year-old Irish kids in Galway. Tell Joe Rogan we started martial arts because of him. Tell him thanks, and we love the fucking podcast. We listen to it all the time. It's like, isn't that cool?
It's the coolest. I'm telling you, having a club for it. I've watched the difference. I've watched people that have podcasts, how they fucking draw much better than some guy that's got a half-assed TV show that not that many people really watch.
Well, I was on a network TV show for 5 years, and I couldn't sell out everywhere. Still, when I was on news radio, I was selling out in Houston. I'd sell out at a good club in Boston. I would do well in Boston because I was from there, but it was nothing like I could do now.
It doesn't really translate because you're not going to show up and do that.
Right.
It's not going to be like
right. Well, it did though with Fear Factor, which is completely ridiculous because that wasn't even.
But you're talking to camera.
Right.
And there's a
No. That was the time though. That was the time when celebrity that was Last Comic Standing was around, and like celebrity reality television. That was the impetus of reality television, and reality television turned everyone into celebrities, and that was a big deal. When Fear Factor, I think everyone forgets just exactly how big Fear Factor was. I'm sure you don't, but like that was all anyone fucking talked about.
Bert, excuse me, we were talking.
What the fuck did he just say?
I'm kidding him. I love him.
No, I was just saying like the reason you sold tickets is like all the Last Comic Standing dudes were selling tickets. Like there was,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but these are
people
real comedy
could
fans.
see me, but it's different now.
no, the people that went to your Fear Factor shows were
when
not.
you start doing a
No.
podcast, the difference is that everybody who actually comes to the shows actually likes you. Whereas like where before, with Fear Factor, it's like they were taking a chance, and if they hadn't seen me before, they might think I'm too vulgar or too controversial or hippie or whatever the fuck. You're a fucking liberal. They might.
Yeah, by what you were permitted to do on that show, they would never know how strong you are.
Well, they wouldn't. Yeah,
You were limited to, you were actually the host of a show, so it wasn't.
it was just a job. I looked at it like, first of all, there's no way you could get a job like that in the real world. It doesn't even make sense that you could have a job where you work 3 days a week, it's for an hour show, and they just give you just a stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
And I could not do it. There's no way I couldn't do it. Even though I did, at a certain point in time, it became a little tiresome. But I really enjoyed it when we did it again this last time. I really enjoyed it.
Good. But the
I
passion
enjoyed it.
you have, Joe, for the announcing.
It's totally different.
Totally
it was
different.
still a job. Whereas, like, when I do the UFC, it never feels like a job. There's no.
But it doesn't sound like it. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're really.
Oh.
And I know you really are. You're having
But
fun.
you're a fan of the UFC, so
Yeah.
that's a big difference. Yeah.
If I don't believe in destiny or fate or, I don't necessarily believe in it. I don't disbelieve in it. But if I was put on earth to do anything, like when I'm doing the UFC, as soon as that fucking first fight starts, I never feel like I should be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Never. When those dudes, when they go, are you ready? Blue corner, are you ready? Let's go, fight! I never feel like I should be anywhere else. It's always it's always fascinating to me. The constant, watching this constant struggle to achieve perfection in this really insane sport where you're hurling your fucking bones at each other, trying to shut each other's body off at vulnerable points and control each other and strangle each other. It's a fucking crazy sport.
This passion that you have for it, I was watching it with a guy who's not into it, and I started saying the kinds of shit that I've heard you say, and he started to get it a little bit more. Because UFC, there's so many different. It's like it's more complicated than chess.
Yeah, it really
Any
is.
fucking thing could happen at any moment. There's so many vulnerable things that could.
Yeah.
It's even more complicated than jiu-jitsu, which is the most complicated martial art. Mixed martial arts is the most complicated thing because you add in strikes. Like the Mike Swick fight from this weekend is a perfect example. It's a great back and forth fight, but this is the one thing that really separated it from boxing. He caught a kick. Swick caught DeMarcus Johnson's kick and took him down and hit him with one shot on the way down. Like, as soon as he touched down, Swick was over him and blasted him on the chin with the right hand. And just that alone, like, that doesn't happen in jiu-jitsu. That only happens at MMA. It doesn't happen in kickboxing. People don't throw you down, and as you're hitting the ground, blast you in the face. Like, that only can happen in MMA. And that makes the whole thing more complicated. You have to factor in all these variables. You're constantly factoring in how to protect yourself and how to attack, and when to attack and when to defend. And, it's just this crazy back and forth battle of will and thinking and technique. And for people to just watch it, they go, oh, this is brutal. This shouldn't be allowed. Those are men of character. The dudes that can do that, those are men of character. That's a different quality of human being than the world is used to, because those guys have mad, crazy discipline, especially championship level guys. When you get to like Benson Henderson and Frankie Edgar level, those guys have mad insanity discipline. Those guys are exemplary human beings. They're exemplary. They're special people. They can do things that most people would never have the discipline to accomplish.
What have you been watching much of the Olympics?
Not really. No.
It's pretty
cool
fucking
to watch
amazing the shit they
every now
do.
and then,
but when it's 13-year-old girls who are like born into it, and
they don't look like they're having fun. To me.
That's a bummer when they get that score slightly less than 10 and the tears start right away. Yeah. Like getting a silver medal is so fucking tragic.
And everybody in their family's fucking crazy. They're all
those
crazy.
The coaches they have are
a lot of
like
wedges too.
intense.
You notice that?
A lot of wedges.
I try not to notice that. They're 13.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Those parents that really push kids.
Yeah,
to
that's
be,
horrible.
To be super duper into it. When we started taking her to camps. And then we would all stay in the camper.
She loves it. She's
Jenny.
happy.
She's happy. Little kid's shell-shocked, 7 years old, walking the red carpet, cameras flashing her eyes.
Did you see the
doing
thing
flips.
about Dominique Moceanu's sister?
I don't know who that is.
She was the girl. She's the a picture of Olympic gymnastics.
I don't know who anybody is
Dominique
to break massive records or get arrested.
It's
You have
too
to do
long.
that.
I'm too fucked up to explain
You
the
can
story.
do it. I know you can do it.
I'm proud of Phelps.
Yeah, man, he's like one of us, bro.
Yeah,
One of
he
us stoners.
smoked a bong at the wrong party.
Yeah, he smoked a
And,
bong at the right party because Kellogg's. I'm sure they got heat from that. I'm sure people were like, "Come on,
Did this
man."
happen recently?
I wrote a whole blog entry about it. No, years ago.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah,
You gotta respect-
after his last round of a million gold.
I remember it now.
medals.
Yeah,
He got one party, had a bong up to his face, so there's no real evidence that he's a constant pot smoker. But at the same time, I do think it does build up lung power.
Lung power, you do,
Yeah,
and you
I
are
do.
the example of this.
Yes,
You use your
I'm
own
I'm
personal
not a bad
life.
swimmer.
Do you feel like
It's not as good as kickball,
I
but
felt like more of a connection with him when I watch him lose at the beginning of the Olympics. Like when I
You
watched
like
him
losers.
When I watched him lose, yeah.
You don't like winners.
No, I feel more. Of a
I hear you.
connection
You're
with
a
him.
hater.
Why you gotta be so negative?
Oh my god.
I hear where you're going.
No, I just when you watch the camera get put in his face and he had lost and he didn't know what to say and he would just felt awkward and uncomfortable. I felt more of a connection with him
you like
than watching
winners.
him win all those times and him like with those abs like you were like I'm glad he won, but when he lost I was like I fucking feel like I really know this guy now.
There's a hilarious video of him working out doing boxing exercises because he does boxing, but not really. He does boxing, but with swimming motions. So
Right.
instead of like standing there and like looking like a boxer, he puts his arms like he's swimming and he punches like that. It's really weird. He does these strange exercises where a guy holds a pad and he hits it back and forth with gloves. See if you can pull that
Yeah,
up. Can you pull that up?
you
You know how to
can-
do that?
He changed the switch, and I don't know how to switch it right there.
Oh, he fucking hides information from you.
Brian
Joe, we
makes
gotta-
it so we can't do his.
We gotta take off because we gotta get up for
Come
Vegas
on,
tomorrow.
we gotta go. We gotta
See you
leave, we
Monday?
gotta- yeah, absolutely. We'll do it.
What time? 8:30.
Yeah, something like that. I don't want to tell people to listen to these fucks.
Where you going, Joe?
Love you, brother.
I love you too.
See you, buddy.
Take care. Thanks, Joe.
Good to see you, Dom.
See you
Powerful
guys.
Dom, my rarest
Fun
in the
work,
building.
Bert. See you, Doug. Great set, man.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for tweeting about me.
Did I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you
What did I
said
say?
you said that you thought I might be high.
There's no way. Who's on stage?
I have no idea.
How's this party rolling?
Sam, maybe.
Show sold out. Later, brother.
Sam,
Take it easy, guys.
Sammy Trips might be on right
Powerful
now.
Sam Tripoli's coming with me to Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. Holla at your boy.
Hey, you know I'm gonna be in Denver on Friday, right?
Yeah, baby.
So if you want me to do a spot,
If you want, you can just, you don't have to beg and shit on the internet. Dude, we can talk about this with text messages. so
When
we
did I
deny
beg
you
on the
dignity.
internet? Oh, right now?
Yeah, we're on the internet right now. Yeah, for sure, man.
No, I
Fuck
just
yeah.
wanted to remind you that I'm there.
Oh no,
I'm
dude!
there
I
this
got
weekend.
a ticket for you and Brendan too.
Nice, yeah. Brendan's gonna be he's gonna be with me at Comedy Works on Sunday doing a Douglas Movies. That's gonna
Beautiful.
be it's gonna be a benefit for that comedian.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
That was in the shooting. But about speaking of Batman, though, I wanted to ask you: did you see it?
No, I have not seen it.
Oh shit, you got to see it, dude.
I feel fucked up about this. I don't.
I
Wanna,
know it's hard to watch
I
now.
I don't really feel like watching it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eventually be able to watch it, but I probably won't go to see it in the movies.
Well, when you do see it, Bane has this. The villain he's like a fighter. He's a real fighter. Like he's really stocky and.
It's Tom Hardy,
There's a
right?
lot of hand to hand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's
guy
a-
from Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he but he
God,
has
it's a
this
great
mask
fucking
on his
movie.
face that like if it gets broken or fucked with, he can't breathe and he'll die. And when he fights, he just slugs people and never blocks the fucking mask on his face. That will be like if you were like I would love to see you doing a commentary on one of the hand-to-hand fights that they do
From
in that
Batman?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bane doesn't protect his thing.
Right.
Like that, he's gonna die if that gets hit.
It's hard to protect
And
your shit.
And he's so overpowering everybody else too.
Yeah,
so
he's
he
a
probably
monster.
like.
Well, it's
Did
Thomas
you like
Hardy
that movie?
fighting- What's his name?
I did like it, but I
hate the message. I like the action.
Wait, what was the message?
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
I won't.
Wait, what was the message?
I don't even know what the movie was. I just sort of vetoed it.
It
after
kinda
that.
said,
I didn't want to feel that.
It's rough. It's rough. I know people that like can't have a hard time sitting through it in a theater because they like it's just too hard to not think about.
Yeah,
that.
it's too. It's to me, it's too fresh.
It makes a really dark. It's a dark movie for a big Hollywood movie that's a trilogy of superhero.
Yeah.
And even as dark as it is, the shooting just made it like even more.
And that
dark
trilogy
and
has a lot of
unpleasant.
blood on its hands. Like, not blood, but death on its hands. I mean, think about the movie before that. Or right before the movie.
Yeah, before you watched it, you knew like Heath Ledger was dead, and in this case, before most people saw this movie, they knew about this incident. I saw it before.
I totally forgot about
I
that.
saw it before the thing happened, and so I, somewhat, it's it's terrible.
I hate that they
say, but-
show that guy's face and broadcast his
Oh, that's
names
the worst.
everywhere.
That's the worst.
It's like, fuck you, man. That guy's a scumbag, and you're giving him exactly what he wants. And that now they're busting people
I
left
think
and
they
right,
should-
coming to movie theaters
No.
with guns and knives.
They're
It
giving
encourages
America what
people.
America wants.
Yeah,
America
exactly.
wants to see what he looks
It's
like.
ratings. It's ratings. But if all the news companies got together and said, next time let's call him John Doe, like we should hear about these incidents so that we can know that these things are going on.
People demand information.
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
mean it's
who
sensationalizing.
cares what the
it
guy's
is good.
name is?
But over and over again,
well,
there is a degree of that.
It's a normal concern. It's a normal question thing. It's a normal curiosity. I think the real concern is how the fuck does someone become a guy like that? That's the real. All the energy should be put into.
The lone
is there
wolves are
anybody like
so
that out
hard
there?
to like know what they're up to and know when they're gonna do that kind of.
Women
thing.
have to start having sex with geeks more. They really do. That guy supposedly got turned down a bunch of times right before he went cuckoo.
Yeah, and he got.
Is that what you heard
and he
from
lost
your girl connections?
No,
That's the
I just
wire on Twitter.
I don't promote it, but I've read a couple articles on it, and that was a big thing. He just gotten shot down by a bunch of chicks.
And he was like, "This is
Yeah.
it. Fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
killing everybody."
There's probably not a lot of guys getting laid a lot who also.
But now he's got
that
fan
kind of shit.
clubs. That's what I'm talking about.
What?
Now he's got fan clubs. They're called homies.
What? You're kidding me.
No, I'm not even lying.
You're
There's
making it
girls
up.
who dress up in his flannels and with slushies, and they take pictures. They're like, "I'm a homie," and it's like,
What's the
what
point
are you
of that?
talking
Why are
about?
they doing that?
Can someone Google it?
No,
Oh, no.
nobody can Google. Right
Yeah,
now.
Google's broken right now. There's something not plugged in.
And yeah, people. There's fan club. There was a fan club on Facebook.
Guys, we're
dedicated.
so sullen. I got to get on stage in a second. Can we cheer me
Listen,
up?
But that's
Get
just.
it together on your
But they're
own,
just
bitch.
being.
It's a tough world out there,
But
Bert
what-
Kreischer. Get it together, bitch.
What do they think that guy represents? Like, what are they supporting? Because he was kind of like a. There was no
Maybe
real.
they're probably trying to
reason
get
for what he
attention
did.
for fucking pretending to love him. And they're like, this is our move. Let's pretend to love this guy.
And there's
this
always-
guy's obviously a cunt. If we pretend to love him, then we'll get attention because people will think we're crazy. Oh shit, you're so smart, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and they obviously
Yeah, it's
everyone's
edgy.
going one way. They're like, we're gonna go the other way just because they just want
Doug
attention.
Benson, I know you must be astounded by my detective skills and that deduction. I know that must have hit you. You must have been like, damn,
This is
how
a
did he
very
even
high
figure that shit
conversation.
out?
This is very.
How did he even know?
I was like,
This
wow,
is
it got
very-
high in here fast. I
I
went
know.
to do a
What?
set, come back.
How the fuck do we get this?
Joe
this
Rogan,
fucking-
nut detective.
It got believable.
He knows.
It got deep. It got deep, son. How great is Dom Irrera? Is he one of the nicest guys of all time?
You know, look, here's the thing. I don't give a shit if he's making fun of me. I love
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
And when he fucking does that shit,
Oh well,
I get such a
if he
kick
ever
out of
makes
it.
fun of you, it's
He's
just
so
out of
good
love.
at it.
Yeah,
He's
he's so fucking
He's so
funny.
can
Yeah.
just sincerely look at you and call you just a
Yeah.
complete piece of shit.
But he does the misdirection where he can trick you into thinking
Yeah.
he's about to compliment you.
Yeah.
And I get fucking
Well,
fooled
you're
every
just
fucking
well, yeah,
time.
you get fooled every time.
I'm
'cause that's
fucking
how-
Kaiser Soze without the limp. I just walk in with a ponytail and I'm like, my name's Kaiser Soze. Were you looking for me? No sense? Fuck,
Wow.
this is going to be a bad
Jesus
set.
Christ.
This is
It's
a
gonna be
really
bad
high
He
show.
wasn't-
Kaiser
you
Soze without
can't-
the limp.
I don't know. Joe, I thought everyone would go
This
there.
is like back when you used to date comedians. They would try material on you. Remember back in the early days, of
Oh
open
my
mic
God,
nights.
come on.
When you were running with chicks.
Fucking been
and
doing
they're-
this 15 years. I don't try material on anyone. I'm trying to talk and be funny.
No, man.
All right,
I know.
here we
I'm just
go.
saying it didn't work.
No,
Settle
yeah,
down,
yeah.
buddy.
All right, we're fine. We're fine. Fucking Joe.
Kaiser Soze, what? Limp? Huh?
Yeah, because there is no Kaiser Soze, so
There is.
you're
There
referring
was.
someone that doesn't
Hold on.
exist.
That was such a weird movie, wasn't
Wait,
it?
Kaiser
It was
Soze
a great
existed.
movie. The end of it, you're like, wait,
Oh,
Hold
he
on.
made it up.
Yeah, he
There
just-
was no Kaiser Soze?
No, he was Kaiser Soze.
No, Doug's
Right,
saying
but-
there was no Kaiser Soze.
No,
But he's-
Kevin Spacey was Kaiser Soze.
But he saw the word Kaiser in one article and Soze in another, and he was just making it all up. That's the reveal. Spoiler
no,
alert.
No.
He was making up a story through reading all the clips, but he
Yeah.
was Kaiser Sose.
Kaiser Soze is someone
That's his real
everyone
name?
talked about.
In-
The rumor of Kaiser Soze was there in that room before he showed up. They knew who Kaiser Soze was because everyone had talked about
They
Kaiser
knew of
Soze.
him. They didn't know
Yeah,
who he
no,
was.
he was Kaiser Soze.
Doug, I can't believe we're explaining.
I
movies
can't
to
believe
you.
I did that. I just
Doug,
explained something.
you just got clowned
His
by
name in
Susan
the movie.
Tripoli on movie trivia on one of the most important guy movies of all time.
Hey, I was a part
Yeah,
of
it is an
clowning
important
Doug.
guy movie.
Doug, okay.
Because it's overrated. First of all.
I love
What is the movie again? What is it called? What's the name of the
Because
movie?
it doesn't even stand up at the end. That he
The
made up
Usual
the whole
Suspects?
story
Usual
by
Suspects.
picking
Doug.
words off of the board behind
great
it.
set, man.
Powerful Tom Rhodes.
That was orgasmic.
That was really great.
That was performance orgasm.
Dude, that was really funny, man.
How awesome.
I really
Man.
enjoyed watching you
Are these
perform.
the greatest crowds in the history
Holy
of comedy?
fuck. Yeah, Redban said to me, he goes, the crowd is liquid soul. Before I went on, and you know what? He described it perfectly. It was.
What do we think of Red Band's hair? I like
it.
it.
It was performance orgasm, definitely.
He said he want to lick your hole.
The crowd will lick your hole. He didn't say liquid soul.
What if
Is
he whispered
Brian
it?
on stage right now? Is he on stage right now?
I don't know.
Somebody
Yes,
is.
somebody
Awesome
is.
crowd though, huh?
Yeah,
aren't
monster.
you following him?
Triple sold
Nope.
out. So good.
I go right before Joe.
Bert's right before Joe. Bert's gonna set him up.
We've
for
been doing
Joe
these.
to knock him down.
They've been getting better every week. It's getting
It's
crazy.
really fun. It's really fun out there.
All right, let's pick apart another movie.
No, I'm retiring from
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
I got Doug, and I call it a win, and I'm walking away.
You just watched like one of the greatest takedown to arm bars ever.
Thank
He just jacked Doug Benson. Doug Benson has a fucking podcast called Doug Loves Movies, and he's had it for years.
By the way, this will be on my Wikipedia.
I
years
saw that.
and years.
I saw that
and
movie
years.
once. It's not that great a movie.
And hundreds of
Stephen
thousands
Baldwin
of
is in it. Stephen Baldwin.
That is a
good.
big
He's
negative,
good.
but it's a great movie.
He's good in it.
Listen, I
It's a
Start telling me how
Stephen
great
Baldwin-
Diner is.
Stephen Baldwin was
Diners
on-
are great. The concept in Diner.
Steve Gutenberg is in Diner.
Well,
Is
you
Diner
know,
a bad movie?
No,
it's
Diners
fine.
are a really
It's
good.
good.
movie. Yeah,
Big
the only-
Lebowski's got John Goodman, who I like, but tends to be box office poison. But he was great in that movie.
The Diner has got. There's a really
Did you
great.
say John
There's a
Goodman
really
is
great.
box office poison.
Dude, most
There's a really
movies
great-
he does, they don't do well.
There's a really great understory in Diner where this guy, they're all these buddies and they're hanging out and they love the Colts and all this bullshit. But this one guy had been in Little League, he had gotten his ass kicked by this other team. So wherever he's at in the world, in Baltimore, he could be in any situation. If he sees one by one through his life, he's going to beat every one of those guys' asses on that Little League team that kicked his ass when he was a kid. So there's a scene where like he's all dressed up, his buddy's getting married, I forget what the scenario is, and they're in this really nice restaurant, and he just goes over and he jumps on this dude and starts wailing on this motherfucker. And it was like he was one of the guys that was on the Little League team. That
That's
was beating
Diner?
him.
Baltimore
Yeah.
sounds like a very dangerous place.
It
After
is.
The
The
Wire,
Wire.
the Diner, anything is going to be bad news.
What was the salesman
called
movie?
The Diner.
Glenn Ross.
Oh, it's
Fuck.
called
Was that in
Diner.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
It's a town that didn't quite work out. It's like, why would you? What's no? You know what I mean?
Baltimore's pretty cool,
It's
man.
close.
I have
But it's
fun when
not
I go there.
Baltimore.
Is
I love
that,
Baltimore. I love
uh,
it, but it's like if you look at where it is, it's like it's not in Philadelphia. It's not New York.
And they made it like
It's like
England.
this-
They cut down all the trees and they made all these like just fucking blocks and blocks of like row houses with no fucking trees.
I have a buddy, my buddy John Rollo. I was just talking to him on the phone on the way over here. He does. He promotes fights in Baltimore, Shogun fights, and he has his own like MMA events. He does like his own like small events with like local fighters and shit in Baltimore. It's getting like really big.
They have a good comedy club there.
Baltimore, really?
What was
Yeah.
the guy?
They used
What was
to. Used to have
Graham?
the Improv.
Goddamn.
What, the Comedy Factory?
What they have, Bert? What's the club?
I don't know. I'm doing it in a little while.
Yeah, the Comedy Factory. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
it's
yeah,
good
yeah.
because you're going to be there?
Yeah, that's the only reason I brought it up. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You mean you don't know it's good? It might be the worst.
It
gig
is good,
ever,
though. It's
and you're
good.
telling
It's
everybody
good.
it's amazing.
Everyone.
I like
Comedy Factory's. It's been there forever.
It might be
I've
like the
been there.
Miami Improv.
I
Oh,
was
you
there.
like that?
That
I
is
like
a
the
weird
Miami
gig,
Improv.
right?
I like the Miami.
I love
Improv.
the Miami.
Like
Improv.
you have an
Miami
air
Improv,
conditioner right on stage.
Yeah.
It's like, where's
Miami
the feng
Improv.
shui with this?
Miami Improv, it goes off in an L. There's some people on one side of the audience that can't see other people on the other side of the audience. It's like the dating game of audiences. Like,
Yeah.
well, I wonder what they're like over there. Because over here, we're not
And
laughing
if you
so much.
said that,
It's
they
weird,
would not get
dude.
that at all.
They don't get anything when you talk too quick.
Miami.
Unless it's reggaeton.
I'm excited. I'm playing Marco Island.
I've never had an opening act in Miami that didn't sing and dance around.
In Spanish.
Like they
Chicletas.
know their audience.
Yeah.
Who was it? Steve Trevino? Was it you with Steve Trevino? Steve Trevino was there.
Yeah.
And he was doing stand up, and like Pitbull the rapper was there, and they busted out a fight with somebody else.
Some dude stabbed somebody.
I don't know.
It was me, Steve Trevino, DJ Coochie, and Ricky.
That's his real name?
Ricky Cruz.
Ricky Cruz. You remember Ricky Cruz?
Ricky Cruz. Ricky Cruz and I went to college together, and so
I know that dude from the old days.
Remember you used to offer him $5,000 for who was the gay comic to you needed money. You're like, I'll give you $5,000 if you let this guy blow you. You remember the comedian? Yes, dude. That's a true story, bro.
I'll tell you exactly what that was. First of all, he didn't think I was serious. And we were completely fucking with him. We were saying, like, if I gave you
Scott Kennedy.
Yeah, but
Scott Kennedy. I would never let Scott
Kennedy
blow
wasn't
me.
going to do it. Ricky was never going to do it.
Hold on. You don't think Scott Kennedy would have blown young Ricky Cruz?
Do you really think he would have done it?
I would put young Ricky Cruz was a good guy.
Scott Kennedy would have sucked Ricky Cruz's dick off his body.
Attack him.
Even though he was a comic, he still would have.
Scott Cruz would have sucked anyone's dick in this room.
No,
Scott Kennedy.
Yeah. Now you're giving them babies. They're having
Whatever
babies
happened to
together.
him, man? Whatever happened to that dude? Where's Scott Kennedy?
He does. I think he does like.
He does a lot of USO stuff, like military gigs.
Really?
He's a good guy. I like Scott.
I worked with him once.
Scott
I really liked him a lot.
He's a great guy. He's a good comedian.
Yeah, he does a Warzone like once a month. That guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And he's living.
He's gonna watch him on stage the whole
He's
time.
living
He's like
in
this.
Texas now, I think. Like,
oh yeah,
near Austin. Yeah, I think so.
Very nice guy, man. Right out the gate, one of the nicest dudes.
Austin apparently has hit more than 50 days in a row of over 100-degree temperatures. Yeah, and they're worrying that Austin's climate might be shifting. Isn't that crazy?
That's a definite sign. I mean, it's always kind of unseasonably warm there in different weird times of year. It's a pretty warm place, but
they're thinking that it might be
this is
shifting
nuts.
towards a drier climate, like less rainfall, because they haven't had good rainfall in a while. It's just they're worried. I am up in 10. Are you going on right now?
I'm going on right now.
All right, dude. Have fun.
Crunch it, Bert.
Keep it together, Bert.
Dude, that's a crowd that you could do no wrong.
That audience. That's
I don't
like
know.
a-
He
Jesus
just
Christ.
walked out with like several beers in his hands.
But that's when he's at his best. That's his spinach.
He was so funny on my podcast. Like everything he said, everyone on the panel was just like, that's wrong.
Was he
doesn't
doing
make
it on
sense."
purpose?
No, he just was Bert, just throwing in his factoids that were every one of them. They just got shot down hilariously, and he was laughing.
He likes to laugh
ridiculously
He's a
the
big
whole
laugher.
time. Yeah,
that's really.
That should be a car alarm. His laugh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. He's such a fucking unusual dude.
I love him.
I think there's nothing he won't do.
What do you mean?
Like
Scott Kennedy.
He can be talked into doing anything. I think.
I just met him in Amsterdam for that this
Red Light?
Showtime Red Light comedy thing that we did together, and he's from a little town in Florida outside of Tampa, like called Lutz. I'm from a little town outside of Orlando called Oviedo. They're like little similarities.
You guys gay lovers?
Kind
Is
of.
it you trying to say?
Where's
So you
Brian
meant to be
Regan
together?
from?
He's from Miami.
What are you trying to say? That you
There's
guys
some good
are-
comedy
you
out of
are him
Florida.
and he is you. You're two similar.
Somebody put
I didn't think it's. I mean, like
two
you
parallel.
just knowing the kind of shithole that he's from, it really makes me proud that he's like
I see
so
what
wonderful
you're
and
saying. I see
funny.
what you're saying. You've taken credit for another man's success. It's beautiful.
There's no reason for anybody in Florida to develop a sense of humor because they
That
just
is-
sit around going,
this-
"Oh, this weather's nice," and
Well, yeah, there's a little of that.
we have a
but
storm on
the
occasion.
despair.
You're from
in
San
the
Diego.
summer.
Yeah, same thing.
It's a fucking.
There's no funny
perfect-
people from San Diego.
That summer despair rots your fucking
I'm good,
mind,
thank
man. That summer heat in
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah, it's a little brutal.
Oh, there's something.
It's a safari. It's a
something
human
unreal.
safari,
Something-
Florida.
yeah.
Which I'm going to be there, Marco Island, Labor Day weekend, down at
Powerful.
Off the
I
Comedy
heard good
Hook.
things about that
Powerful
gig.
Sam Tripoli.
Yeah, I'm
Like
very
Captain
excited.
O'Brien's or something.
Captain Brian's Off the Hook Comedy Club. I'm very
Powerful.
excited
Sam
with Tara
Tripoli.
Patrick.
Powerful Sam Trip is going to be.
You're gonna be there with Tara Patrick?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, she does my naughty show.
Oh shit!
Are you shitting me?
No, she's a dude. I'm blessed to have her as a friend. She's such a nice. I'm like, hey, you want to do this gig? Yeah. I'm like, I can't believe Tara Patrick just wants to go hang out.
That's amazing.
Right? It's like weird, and she's world class cool. She's very world class attractive and very cool.
I met her at one of those pot events very briefly, but she was very nice. What were we just talking about?
Like, we're going to Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. That's right. Massey Hall.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
21st?
September 21st.
Yeah. Toronto's the
That's
shit.
a nice hall.
Oh,
that is
so
a nice
fun.
hall.
That place is so fun.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have fun.
Toronto is the
I
shit.
always have fun on Joe Rogan gigs.
Were you there with me the last time I was in Toronto? You were in there?
Yeah.
Did you do a gig? You did a set?
I did Massey Hall. I was.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
so awesome. Like,
Yeah.
such a huge, like, people up really high. And,
Yeah. That was when you were worried that they were mad at you because you made fun of their army.
Well, it was a thing that happened, yeah, where like I was just
cracking
that was
a joke.
that was
You
my
just-
first step back in, which I guess there's probably no better umbrella in which to show up there again is with you, because like,
That's a seal of approval.
Because like your fans are all, you're not going to turn on somebody that you're like,
Right.
putting on your show with you. Like, has anybody ever bombed opening for you in the last year or two?
No.
Yeah, they're pretty pumped.
They're awesome folks.
Yeah. So
it's weird.
I had a great time, and it felt good to be liked in a place where I thought people hated me.
That's just a joke, man. The people that got upset, they're a small percentage of the population.
And
You're
then
a
no matter what you
comedian.
do, someone's going to get pissed.
They mostly got upset because I was going to come play in Edmonton
Oh.
right after those things happened.
And
And
did
so
you
there
not
was a
go?
lot of like, because the club was getting too many threats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so
like,
crazy.
and it's a very military place,
Oh,
so they were very.
man.
In retrospect, I don't blame them for getting mad, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I was.
It was
just
just
joking around.
we talk so much shit to each other, like on this podcast. You so see when comedians get together, we're always cracking on each other and talking shit to each other. It does. Okay, cool.
Hey,
It doesn't
Brian, you got to
mean-
sign this colostomy bag.
Doesn't mean we're serious. It's just we look for opportunities to make jokes. It doesn't mean anything,
Yeah,
You
and
didn't
unfortunately,
really mean that they
yeah.
don't have an army. You didn't really mean that. You were just being silly.
The joke was, look at how stupid I am. But
Yeah,
like it was
exactly.
on Fox, and
Right.
and it played. They just played the clip and on YouTube, and so people would look at it and they just get outraged.
Yeah.
Canada really just became a real country recently with their, first legitimate mass psycho killers. Or not mass, but the guy chopped up his gay Chinese lover, the porno guy.
Yeah, that.
And then there was the guy a few years before that who
On
cut
the
off
bus?
a guy's head on the bus. So I mean, Canada's just becoming a real nation.
Yeah. There's plenty of crazy people everywhere. There's always
You're gonna be in the same
a certain amount of people.
same
Some of them
hot
are
water
crazy.
I was in. I just got out of the jacuzzi and you
able,
dove in.
I won't be able to play Edmonton.
Yeah.
Well, I still haven't played Edmonton, but I've been to Vancouver and Toronto a couple of times.
love
I'm gonna
Canada.
go to Canada and become the prime minister when the shit hits the fan. When the shit completely hits the fan, I'm gonna see if the Canadians will let me come in and take over when I'm an old man.
I don't know why they wouldn't. That seems
I think
like a
my
reasonable
podcast,
thing.
my podcast is #1 there right now, so I'm really hoping
That's a
that
great place to be
trend-
#1
that
with,
trend
too.
keeps
I love
up.
Canada. Canada's
It's my favorite place
That's
to
what
go.
bummed me out about the whole thing. Is I have nothing bad to say about Canada.
And people don't
way
realize
to go.
that when
you pissed off the
The people that I like the most.
Who comes to a comedy show and get? I mean, like, it's so weird that you would get offended. You
But
take
that was my
statement.
jokes too. My jokes were like, "Why do they have an army? They're peaceful." Like that was the joke. And then like, "No, we do have an army, and they're dying in your stupid war."
I was talking about the
fucked up.
airport security so harsh. Like nobody's
said,
gonna.
yeah, the
terrorists
Doug
are
Benson
never gonna
stupid
bomb
war.
Canada. They're like the koala bears of the world. Everybody loves
Everybody loves
Canadians.
Canada.
Right,
Yeah.
except if America ever got attacked, for sure Canada would as well. And the idea is that although we're like the crazy younger brother that's downstairs, we're still, or older brother rather, that's downstairs, we're still keeping you from ever being invaded by anyone fucked up. Like no one can ever invade Canada. Like if terrorists try to invade Canada or someone tried to, I would say terrorists, if there was an army, let's just call it an army. If a foreign army invaded Canada, we would fuck them up.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's why I probably don't have to spend as much on their military because
exactly
they know
why.
that next door neighbor is fucking crazy
That's what
with
started-
guns.
That's what started the story on the show I was on. Was that they were.
All right, I gotta go. Bert's he's on stage already. So
Kill it, Joe.
See you.
Go get
Bye,
it.
everybody.
Go believe in yourself.
Yes.
The Canadian military.
Remember,
Like-
start with your funniest line.
Yeah, open up. Nobody wants my mom's cookies. I'm kind of depressed.
Yeah, whatever.
You want some? Cool.
They.
It was good to perform with you. Last time I performed with you, I think we were doing some weird like Asian themed nightclub off on I think Vine. It was like I was like, man, this, and you were hilarious there, but it's like the worst environment to do stand up.
Yeah, there's all Asian shows that
Yeah.
John Chung booked.
Yeah, they love that shit.
Yeah.
Just,
And I was living in Koreatown at the time, so I had like a little Asian hunk.
Yeah.
So he asked me to do his Asian
So it's
show.
good to see you. I mean, I know I've always followed you and thought you were hilarious, but it was good to share a stage with you.
Sammy, shit, you were fucking murdering it.
I tried some new stuff.
Should I leave you guys alone?
Yeah, please do. I want to pick his brain about some stuff. No. What's the colostomy bag for?
Did you sign it?
No, what's it for?
It's for a girl in Toledo, or near Toledo, Findlay, I think she lives in. And she wants all the Death Squad people to sign it. And if you ever meet her in person, if you're a Death Squad person she likes, which I think she likes everybody, she'll ask you to sign her body somewhere.
Do I get the pic?
And then turn it into a tattoo.
Really?
Yeah. And her boyfriend did it too. I signed his ankle and her.
Don't sign the forehead, Sam.
I signed her.
I would never.
Side.
I just like
They're
I want to
very
have
nice.
kids eventually, and my biggest fear is just facial tattoos on these kids.
Oh,
I just
Christ.
think like you can do whatever you want, just leave here alone. But I mean, do what you want to do. What do I know? But
I remember years ago when I lived in San Francisco, I was at a grocery store and there was this dude bagging groceries, and he had like real thick on across his neck, across the back. It said, "Fuck the police." And
why would you?
I was
ever
like,
do that?
I'm thinking you better get used to bagging groceries.
Now, if you you can't even get that job now with this economy, you got fucking like rocket scientists looking for gigs. Now you've gigged in Australia a lot, right?
Yeah, man.
Do you know in Australia it's a law you're not allowed to get tattoos on your hands or your face?
Oh no,
because they're technically the queens.
Oh shit, no. Cool.
Yeah, isn't that
I love it.
right? It's weird when you go to a foreign country that isn't England, yet you see like the British Queen on their money. It's like kind of reminds you like what shit was going down before. How that little island just ruled so much of this fucking rock. You know, that they owned so much territory.
Right, and Australians and Canadians love England, and it's the Commonwealth. They're Canadian comedians are really lucky they can go to England and live there and perform, where it's kind of a pain in the dick for us to get our work stuff. But
and those
it's
are two fun
a pain in
places
the
to
dick
gig.
for everybody to come here. So
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta learn to play well with each other. It's just fucking unfortunate. That's why I like the Olympics, man. I just like seeing other.
I like when it's country versus countries. I love the World Cup. World Cup is amazing.
I do. I've gotten into soccer a lot. I really enjoy football. I enjoy it when it's good. You know, MLS is getting better and better here, but when you see like really good football, and it's like old Phoenix Suns basketball where it's like fast break, precision passing. You're like, it's mind blowing. It's phenomenal. And who's it? Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Imagine being that dude. Imagine being that dude. Like, just for the rights to negotiate with him, I think, who is it, Barcelona has, or is he with Barcelona?
He's with Madrid.
Madrid. They had to pay like 80 mil just to negotiate with him.
Come on.
Yeah, that's how they buy his
Really?
contract. Then they negotiate with him for a better contract, I believe. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's like he's got to be the number one athlete in the world.
Messi for Barcelona is like he's supposed to be the greatest soccer
Weren't those
player.
two having some kind of goal scoring?
Yeah. I think Messi's way ahead.
Now, have you always been into football, or when you
No.
moved?
When I lived in Holland, I got into football, and then my mother's from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Oh yeah.
So I've been there 3 times now. I went with my brother for the first time, and we got these cousins, and people are all there out of their mind for soccer in Argentina, and River Plate is one of the teams of Buenos Aires. That a lot of my family people like, and so they took us to a match, River Plate versus Quilmes. Quilmes is this factory town like 20 miles outside of Buenos Aires. It was like dirt roads and like wild dogs walking around and shit. And we get there and there's hundreds of police and riot gear with shotguns and like baton, just like axe handles looking shit, and just looking at you like, please give me a reason to crack your skull. And then so the visiting fans sit separately from the home fans, and the stadium is divided with fucking big wire, and all around the pitch, the field was this wall of razor wire, not barbed wire, razor wire. you touch it and your hand shreds.
What?
Yeah, and so it's just this wall of like razor wire around, and so like the Kilmus team was losing 4-0. They looked pathetic. The hometown fans were so upset with their own team's performance, they set fire to the stadium. All of a sudden, the other side of the stadium is on fire. And these lunatic fans are trying to climb up on the razor wire. And then, like, all these riot police come out on the field with their batons and start beating these people off these walls of razor wire. And they called the match with 20 minutes to go. And meanwhile, the stadium is still on fire. And so they kicked out all these home fans. And then all these, we're in the visitor section. And then they made us wait.
You're there live.
Yeah, with my
Holy
brother,
shit.
and it's like Vietnam, man. The fucking stadium's on fire. So these people are all from Buenos Aires, and it's a school night. They got to work the next day. So they start banging on these like metal doors, and the police shot tear gas canisters over the wall into the crowd. And it was a scary moment where like, oh shit, this is where like people get trampled. That's when everyone turned into animal herd.
Yeah.
Friggin' this. It was like the Who in Cincinnati.
That's like when the traffic lights out here don't work. It becomes primal, and you're like, I want to go. And
that's what it was, man. But obviously, these people had been used to having tear gas shot at them because they just throwed the canisters back over the wall.
Yeah.
But it was the greatest night of my life. I've been to 1,000 baseball games, and nobody ever set the stadium on fire.
Well, they talk about that. How
And so I'm like, yeah, I'm all over football. And I've done this, tried to develop a joke that as the United States, we need to put more money into our soccer program than military and our space program, because the only way we're going to break the heart of the rest of the world or get them to fucking bow to us again is by beating them at the only thing they truly love in life.
Well, I mean, as concussions become a bigger issue in the NFL here, they think that mothers are going to start pushing their kids towards soccer or football, because they don't want them to get hurt. Then you're going to start seeing like LeBron James and Kevin Durant running down these 6'7".
Okay, can I give you some advice as a world traveler? If you're ever anywhere in the world and like a bunch of like shady looking guys look like they're about to attack you, if you just jump up and down and start going, ole, 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 and then they'll all like...
Yeah, and then you could just do it with you?
You'll appeal to their soccer love, and then pretty soon you'll all be jumping up and down going, ole, ole,
What's the white stripes thing that everyone does now?
Seven Nation Army.
How's it go, though? That's got to feel good if you're like Jack White and you're like, wow.
Played in soccer stadiums the world over.
Everywhere. That's got to be a great...
He seems like a pretty cocky dude.
I would be cocky, too.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has achieved a certain level of greatness. I'm not saying you got to be an asshole, but there's no... I have no problem with being, like, pretty confident in what you do.
Yeah, there's that documentary about him where, like, he just, right in front of the camera, he makes a guitar. He just builds a guitar, and then he starts playing it. And it's just like...
That's some MacGyver of guitars right there. They ain't fucking around.
Is that Louder documentary?
Yeah.
Where it's like Jimmy Page
might
is
be
on
loud.
there? Wow. What do you think of that?
I liked it.
I never saw it.
It's good.
I'd like to get it.
Yeah.
What do you think of the best film music documentaries of the last? What do you think of that Shine a Light thing?
What's that?
Terrible. That Scorsese, and I love the Stones.
It was just
Shine a Light thing. Oh my
with the fucking cameras flying around and stuff. It was just so slick and not in like
so much rather watch
so
Give Me
busy.
Shelter.
It was so busy, It didn't really capture anything real. It was just like a concert just to make a film. But what's a really good music documentary is? It's called Dig. It's about the Brian Jonestown massacre and Dandy Warhol.
Oh, the band! Oh, wow, shit, that was a great band.
Yeah. That guy is just crazy, and the lead guy of Brian Jonestown massacre, and he's just a really interesting character, and it's a really well made documentary. It's called Dig.
I guess I was wrong, though, real quick, on the tattoos on the face. I've just got blasted on Twitter.
Oh, really?
What'd they say? They're like, fucking Doug Benson, tell Tripoli, call bullshit on Tripoli. In Australia, you can get tattoos on your hands and face. When I was out there, they told me you couldn't.
Are you looking at your Twitter while this is going
I just like to hear what
We all keep checking in on it because it's
Really?
so great that like people are watching and listening right now and then telling us stuff.
I left my phone in the car.
Let me ask you,
Some
man.
guy said he changed
Hey,
Sam.
retweeting me. Hey, I'll read that shit
Why?
tomorrow.
I wanted to ask you about your show in Amsterdam. You had this really big talk show. Why did you walk away from that?
I didn't walk away from it. It was finished.
It ran its course. I mean, obviously
Yeah, it's a
shows
small
get
country.
high and gets.
Yeah. Small country. I did 2 full years. I did it's like 3 seasons in Dutch television world, and 3 seasons on television anywhere is a good run.
No, that is a great run.
And it's a small country, and we had interviewed most of their celebrities. We also did the artists and politicians, but then the network started to grant other people late night talk shows. And then pretty soon there was like 3 or 4 more on the same network, and it was already difficult to get guests. And we had a good run, and when the show ended, the same network, there's a travel program. It was like every Sunday at 7, like when 60 Minutes comes on. It's a really beloved show in Holland called You're in Travel, and they offered me I got to be a presenter on the travel show for a year.
That's cool.
So yeah,
that's badass.
It was awesome.
Yeah, man, that's great. That was great.
It was cool. There was a lot of great moments on the thing. We had Steve-O was on when he was premiering Jackass, and he's just so impressed that you can say fuck and smoke weed, and he's coming out and he's smoking weed
on the show.
Yeah, and then he said, "This is something we couldn't do on the movie. Whose dick do I have to suck to get a stapler?" Everything. Everything he said was, whose dick do I have to suck to do this? Whose dick do I have to suck that? And, in television time, it was 2 seconds. But it actually took about 5 minutes for somebody to go find a stapler. And the guy took his pants down, and he stapled his nutsack to his leg.
Oh, my.
And Dutch television,
I
you
love
could
Steve-O,
show
but I could
show
never.
close-ups of it. And
yeah.
I put it on YouTube,
called
and I had
freedom.
30,000 hits, and then YouTube gave me a warning. And
They took down my Naughty Show YouTube page. I had like over 1 million views on all my videos, and they took it down, and I lost all those views.
The
And
whole
to
page
point-
they took it down?
Yeah, they took the whole page
Wow.
down. And I just to the point where I don't even want to invest in. I just put a video up just to promote, hey, this is a video if I'm trying to get someone involved in the show. But I pretty much could care less about it. It's stupid.
Oh, the machine is back.
How was it, Bert?
It was good.
That was weird. You look like you might have killed a hooker over there.
No,
And
it was good.
Where did it go wrong, Bert?
What's
What happened?
What are you holding back on us?
You seem like you saw your future self, and he warned you of something about to happen.
No, it was absolutely fantastic.
Motherfucking Sam.
I didn't understand Brian was hosting. I thought Brian was doing a set in front of me. Hey, I thought you were doing a set in front of me. I
No,
didn't
he
realize
switched
you were
off.
hosting.
Went from Randy to.
I did a set.
So you weren't prepared? You thought maybe you had a few more minutes?
No, no.
I did a set, and then I went. Then at the end, I was like, "All right, guys, coming to the stage," and then you started walking.
Yeah, I thought that guy with the beard was hosting.
Yeah, he
And-
was.
He was, but he shit himself.
In real life?
He shit his pants.
He shit in his pants.
The redheads shit them.
Hold on. Are you being serious?
No, I don't think he is.
Hey,
And
Redban, I love
that's,
you.
That's why this. Okay, so if you're wondering if there's any confusion, it's the fun game. I didn't understand it, so I didn't. He was like, he shit himself, and I was like, all right. So I guess I need to walk on stage. So I walked on stage, but it was fine. It was a great set.
Redban, thanks for this.
And then Brian, and then in the middle of my, towards the end of my set, Brian just started walking on stage, and I was like, wait, what are you doing back here? Where's the host? And so I was confused. But
Where did Randy go? Had to go home?
He shit himself.
Okay. Doug, it was a pleasure.
Sticking to that story.
Are we leaving?
I gotta go. I gotta get up.
I gotta go too.
Really?
I gotta get going
Sammy,
too.
really nice to meet you, baby.
Can I get your number before
I gotta
go?
go to
of course,
Omaha.
All right. Well, we'll probably just end this right now because it's going on 2.5 hours.
I wanted to ask Tom Rhodes a question though.
Shoot.
Hang on, buddy.
All right. He's gonna enter his phone
reminds
number.
me of my favorite scene in.
How come you don't call me back
Hope
anymore?
Of Greenwich Village.
You never called me.
I
Cop
always
shit
tweet
his
you. You
pants,
never hit me
cop
back,
shit
and I think
his
you're pissed at me.
Never. I'm never pissed at you, Sam. I love you. I'm being dead serious. I don't. You know what? I said the same thing about Steve fucking Byrne the other day. I always tweet him. He never tweets me back. And I think, and then
Thank you, Sammy.
Ari was like, "Why? Yeah, but I tweet you, and you never tweet me back." And I was like, "Well, I don't. You know, it's so funny. I think you think like that."
I've hit you up a couple times,
What's
and then
your-
I never get back anything back, and I'm like, I wonder if he's pissed at me.
No, I'm definitely not pissed at you at all. What would you? How would I ever be pissed at you?
I don't know.
You're
okay.
nothing but fucking positive.
I was like, I'd hit you up, and I'm like, okay.
No,
But
hit me up. Direct message me.
Okay. But I would text you your
Text me.
number, and I would say, hey, I got your number. I'd be like, hey, bud, blah, 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 and
You know
I would
what?
never hear
There was
anything.
a solid 4 months in the past that I was overseas and back and forth, and I'd get my phone, and it would be like literally fucking
Thousands.
1,000 messages of texts, and I just would never. You know, me, I'm
We
like,
get it. You're really popular. A lot of people need things
no,
from you.
but so yeah, I apologize, man. I really didn't mean for you to.
I have a
feel
question
like that
for
at
Tom
all.
Rhodes. All right.
Lay it
love
on me,
you
Doug.
guys.
Love
Hey,
you too, Sammy. Love
Bye,
you, baby.
Sam. Good job, buddy.
Sam Tripoli Naughty Show. Check him out. SamTripoli.com.
Do you want me to? Will you please take the cookies, whoever's got them?
Somebody
Give
take
my
the
mom's
cookies.
Please take them.
Take
Sam's
the cookies.
mom made
cookies. Why did you give the fattest person the cookies?
Go give them to the audience. Go throw them to the audience while Joe's trying to do his set.
Sam, it was a great
Love you,
time,
Sammy.
man. Thank
Sam.
you.
Respect, baby.
Are you going to the Naughty Show, Sam? Sam, Naughty Show?
Respect.
I mean, Comedy Store. Are you going to Comedy
Strength and honor, Spaniard. Strength and
When's the
honor.
Naughty Show?
Are you going to the naughty store?
All right.
Going to the naughty store. Bye, guys.
That's what he calls going to bed.
All right.
What do you want to ask me, Doug?
What is up with Amsterdam with this, like, tourists can't smoke in the coffee shops anymore? Like, what's that move about?
That's not exactly true. It's primarily for the coffee shops in the small towns along the Belgian border and the German border, where you can't be a foreigner there. So I mean, you know, the Dutch are.
Why is that? Why do they?
Because
So-
like Germans come over, you know, rural Germans, rural Belgian people come over and they wipe their dick on the curtains. They come over and get all fucked up and act ignorant. And that law is primarily to curb and
So in Amsterdam,
for some reason,
things are
everybody
business as usual.
Duncan
in
Trussell.
Amsterdam, yeah, I mean, you know, over the last 10 years, they like minimized the number of coffee shops. They'll never grant any more new licenses. They got rid of a lot of the little small scummier ones, and they kept the reputable ones.
Duncan Trussell went over there and ate mushrooms and then went to the Anne Frank house. So I could see where, like, this is a nice historic place, you know.
Oh,
full
there's
of-
so many fucked up people going through the Anne
that's
Frank
not-
house.
he's not the only person doing
I'm
that.
saying, but
Also,
that's,
they
you know.
had like about 5 years ago, they got rid of the mushrooms or something. That was a news
Yeah, yeah.
story, but it's still all those smart shops are still in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like 5 years ago, there was a big news story that
No
they're
more
getting
mushrooms.
No more mushrooms.
Yeah, I went there
There's-
right after that broke.
they're
and
They're
still
doing
there.
something different.
I
They're doing
still
that
got 'em.
other thing. They're doing the spores. It's a
Yeah, it's legal. You can actually
yeah,
buy them
yeah,
online
you
right
got-
now and have them delivered to your house. They're
I
like,
mean, not that I'm doing them, but they do that. So, do you guys want to keep podcasting with the three of us, or do you want to go watch the rest of the show?
it's up to you guys.
I gotta go. I gotta fly to Omaha
Tom,
tomorrow.
what do you want to do?
Well, sure, we could.
You want me to tell you how many people are watching right now?
Oh, I'd
Maybe
love
that-
to know that.
Do you know, really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna guess 1,874.
I'm gonna guess 322.
322?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are going to be surprised, I bet. It is, right now, we have, once the flash loads up, 1,000 people.
Oh, that's what Bert guessed. So he wouldn't be surprised.
Close.
Yeah.
I got lit tonight. I got fucked up.
You did?
It's so good to see you guys, man.
You do it fast.
Well, the beer kicked me in the dick for a second. The same thing happened last night, and then, but I had a good time. I had a really good time. I like.
Are you going to say anything?
No, I'm not.
You know, but the other thing, what I like to.
This podcast should end.
You are a machine. You're a machine that spits out words regardless of their meaning.
Some guy tried to leave the show, and I fucking yelled at him. I go, "I'm the fucking machine," and the fucking audience lost.
Oh,
it.
that's what happened.
No,
We could tell something was wrong when you walked in.
No,
here.
something's not wrong, man. I had a great set. I had a fucking great set.
You're thinking about sobering up now.
He had an amazing set.
No, I'm not
Bert
thinking about sobering up at all.
Destroyed.
I'm not surprised at all.
That
crowd's a lot of fun.
Doug,
I'm sure. I'm going to hear tomorrow about how I was the worst set of the night.
Doug, okay. You know what? 1,000 people are listening right now. 1,000 people are listening right now.
And many more are going to listen to this
listen.
18 days from now.
Okay. This is what you got to understand. Okay,
What? Oh, are we getting real?
Let's get real.
I thought we were joking around.
No, we're getting real.
Okay.
You are quicker than I am.
What?
Okay, like you're running
Improv.
circles around me right now. So fucking
I
take
am
some.
not.
You're fucking
No, I'm
running
not.
circles around me. So let's be on the same team and run in the same direction.
Hey,
okay?
Bert, I'll be on your team. I'll help you out.
Please, I'm
all
fucking
on your team.
I'm trying to piece together some sort of semblance of sobriety right now, and it's not happening. And I'm fucking thank God Tom came back.
Tell
I
us
was like,
about the time.
Oh, Doug, shut up.
That.
You just be funny.
Tell
and
us
I'll
about.
giggle.
Tell
You be
us
funny
what
and
you
I'll
know
giggle.
about Carrie Fisher.
She broke out her teeth in the backyard of her neighbor's house with a rock.
No, that was Margot Kidder. Now tell us about Charlize Theron.
Sorry, you mean the murderer? The girl that
No. She didn't murder
her
anyone.
mother murdered her father, but
I still haven't
Charlize
substantiated that.
I swear to God. You want to hear what I heard? This is what I heard. Speculation. I'm not. But I heard that she did it, and they had to ship her off to America to be a model because of it. Look, Charlize, I apologize.
Thank God she was model-like. Otherwise, that plan wouldn't have worked. Oh, our daughter's too ugly. How are we going to ship her off to be a model?
See, now we're running in the same direction, Duck.
Or our daughter has boobs. How could she be a model?
Hot. Charlize Theron is hot, and I heard she's cool
She's
as shit.
small. She's small.
Who's the most
She's
famous?
sleek.
Who's the most famous person that you've met at UCB?
At UCB?
Yeah.
Precious.
Did
You met Precious?
Gabourey Sidibe came to see my podcast.
way.
What her pussy tastes like.
She was in the audience. Chicken.
Oh, cool.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah, what?
Or I mean, racist.
Speaking of racist,
she was always running
Doug,
around with chicken.
Doug, check this out.
No, stop. We're in the same direction
Check
right
this
now,
out.
Brian.
This is racist, though. Watch this.
Oh, it's Rachel Ray doing something racist.
She'll be helping, so I think that's really cool. Do you crochet or knit? I don't, but I'm thinking of starting it because when you're on a plane and stuff, I'm always envious of the knitters. Yeah.
Of the
Do
what?
they still let you bring the tools on? The knitters. Yeah. Envious of the knitters. I'm always envious of the knitters.
Why is she saying that, and why does she keep repeating it?
Hold on.
She said knitters,
I will
right?
stop. That is my girl right there. That
Knickers.
is my friend.
Knickers. She's jealous of knickers.
Knitters. People who knit.
That's
She
what I
had
thought.
a
Knitters.
scarf on her shoulder.
Knitters.
Yeah, she's
And that is-
jealous of knitters.
She is jealous of knitters.
She's jealous the way knitters have all that spare time because they don't work.
Yeah.
And they're
They just
lazy.
sit around and
Don't you hate how knitters cross the street where
guys.
Knitters should have their own drinking fountain. That's my feeling about knitters.
That was, hey, can we workshop this real quick? So my new joke that I told on stage tonight is that I'm trying to say, my idea is, and I just have the incept of an idea, okay? That the person that was most pissed off about the end of segregation was the guy who sold water fountains. Because the second that end of segregation went through, they just cut his business in half.
Good luck with that.
Fucking
I'm just saying that's
fuck
gonna
you.
be a hard one to
What are you talking
to
about?
expand upon in a way that current audiences would.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Hold on.
I don't even think 90% of an audience now would even know that once there was segregated fountains.
Well,
here.
they probably saw. They all saw The Help.
Yeah.
So that was.
They
that was in that.
everyone knows there were two separate drinking fountains. Right?
I don't know. The young people today
Young people
don't know
today don't know
anything before
shit.
they were born, and
Right.
even before they were 5, they don't know. They don't care.
Duran is fucking.
Now, a neighbor had said that they heard a noise in the apartment before the body was discovered, and another friend of the victim actually says he may have had a premonition about his death, saying that he wanted to be buried in his native Nicaragua, rather.
That guy's
right,
black,
Brian.
though, right? That guy's black.
He can say that.
Yeah.
I'm not offended by that. Do you ever talk about racial stuff
I'm
on
black
stage?
and Mexican. I'm from Nicaragua.
Do you ever talk about racial stuff on stage, Doug?
I try not to, no, because I understand. I don't, sexist stuff, racist stuff. I stay away from it. But
Why?
what?
Look, just out of curiosity.
Every once in a while, I'll dip my toe in and say something. If I really think of something that tickles me and that I don't think people will take in the wrong way,
Yeah.
But it's hard to do.
It's well, I think it's
unless it's your thing,
No, I think it's a lot easier to do than you think. I think it's easier.
Well, it's easy to whip the crowd up about
Yeah.
something racist, but
Yeah.
it's also
It's hard to do well.
I find my crowds when I perform are nice, sensitive people that like even if I start to say something kind of political, I get kind of a ooh, because they're just they're there for more just
They don't want to hear it.
Happy silliness,
Yeah.
Stoner fun.
Well, that's a luxurious place to be.
Yeah, I love it. But that's what I love about podcasting is that we can go off and say some things, like it's safer in podcasting right now than it is at the Laugh Factory.
It is. How long? You know what's so funny?
Well,
Last night,
they must have a camera. Like
some
he's
dude
got.
was,
It's called Jamie Masada.
Yeah.
There was some dude videotaping us. Hey. I'll take one more.
There was somebody videotaping in there tonight?
Two more,
Last
please.
night.
God,
last
shut
night.
up,
Good.
it's such a good-
What's that? Do you want to do a shot?
I do not want to do a shot.
No shot for me.
I'll take a Heineken.
Wait,
Two, please.
You were saying...
I'll take a. You know what? I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot, and I got a Heineken.
Dos Pacificos, por favor.
Yeah, take a shot of Jack.
I'll do a shot, Jack, with Bert.
Hey, so wait.
How's your driver doing?
He's not here. He's not in. No, he's in the show.
He's in the show watching
He's
Joe.
fucking having a blast.
He's watching Joe.
Do a
I
shot?
kind of want to go watch
Can I
Joe.
do a shot of Jack and also a Pacifica?
Attaboy.
Yes. Did I say that? No.
What?
You said a shot and
You
a
said shot.
Heineken.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Yep, that's what I want. Okay.
Jesus, that's the only reason I'm doing a shot.
Jesus
I'm gonna do
Christ,
a shot
guys.
with you.
I feel like
Dude,
I'm being attacked tonight, guys. I don't know what's going on.
No, Bert, I felt the attack with Joe earlier.
I really liked.
I think it's because Joe was having fun with some of the things you were saying, and it did kind of get kind of like it was all one-sided, like everyone was making fun of you, but we were having
I
fun
was
with
having
you.
fun. I don't think
we were having
anyone
fun
was
with
being
you.
I really liked the love that you poured on Brody. I thought that was really genuine.
I
and
tried. You know what?
sincere.
It's
He
the
won't shut up about
And-
that
and
thing.
that-
He
but-
told me
I love
about
it.
it
I love
last night.
But Brody needs that, man.
But he's but Bert really loves this thing that he did.
I think it's.
What's it called?
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it,
Yeah.
and you have to have HBO to watch it.
Yeah, you have to have HBO.
How does
subscription.
HBO Go work?
You just get it on your laptop. You have or your iPad, and you have a subscription, like a username and a password. You can log in. You can watch all their fucking shows. It's the greatest thing. The only thing that they've done, I think, is they've shot themselves in a foot tad bit because they don't sell it on iTunes because you need a subscriptions. They don't offer it in Vimeo or anything, so they're losing out on a lot of people's word of mouth. However,
Yeah, I think HBO's already a smaller audience than other channels, and then now they're narrowing it down even further to say not only is it the HBO audience, but it's the HBO audience that's bothering to subscribe to this thing and watch these things.
So, it's I watch HBO Go when I'm on the road on the like elliptical. I love it, and I'm fucking super proud of Brody. I pulled him aside off mic and told him because I didn't know if he was in a weird mood or not. With the so I just was like, hey man, you should be really proud. I'd love to have a project that I worked on that was that representative of exactly who I was. Like it's a very rare that you get someone like Zach who has that much power, who can really make sure to take care of you and protect you, but still represent you in a fun, honest light that people will like. You know what I mean?
That's probably where you lost Brody when you said that it's exactly how he is.
Really?
Well, because it's he probably is uncomfortable with parts of it because it is exactly how he is.
Yeah, and like you said that you thought at that one moment that they were exploiting him, that you realized he was getting a good thing out of it or something.
Well, there was a second where you go like, is this just about like his spiral? And then you realize, no, it's not. It's about the progression out of the spiral.
The beauty,
Get him to the next.
the biggest beauty about it is that if you don't know who Brody is and you watch that, which a lot of people I think will, because if you just go to HBO Go, it's like advertised or like everywhere. I think that's the best introduction to him because a lot of people online, because have been doing podcasts with him for so long. I did a podcast with him up to the point he broke. And it got so bad that I had to pull him aside, and he made the other person on the podcast, who was his roommate at the time,
Johnny Spanish.
That
is one of the fucking most riveting podcasts
yes,
I've ever listened to.
It's fucking crazy. But that was right before the break, and Johnny Spanish was outside crying. And this is like an old friend of Brody's, and then moved back to New York, gave up on his career, gave up on everything because of how broken he became of the whole situation. Yeah, and I had to tell Brody, I'm like, look, Brody, I can't do this anymore. I mean, that last episode, I actually, at points, I felt scared of my life because I thought he was so out of control that I didn't know what was going on. Like, I knew Brody too, as much as like anyone else, and it was really uncomfortable for me. It was especially when I'm like fucking like trying to like help this guy out that's crying in the back, and I'm just like, oh, it's okay, everything's okay, and like then I filmed. I think they used a lot of my footage in the thing, but I filmed Brody doing kettlebells outside at the Comedy Store at like 2 a.m, just like ready to fight wars. And I'm like, why is he doing this? I got to record this shit.
Have you never had a manic episode?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty lucky at like when I'm depressed, it's really stupid shit. It's like, oh, this girl didn't talk to me, or my cat hurt himself.
Mania is super addictive.
Who? What?
Mania, like going through a manic episode, is super addictive.
Really?
Yeah, because you enjoy it and you have a good time with it, and you're like, fuck, I am powering through life. And you start talking real lofty to people, and you almost sound like a dictator. Like you really have these great ideas. I've dealt with it a tad bit, just with like when you get overwhelmed with work, and then all of a sudden your diet's fucked up, and then all of a sudden you're like on this fucking power trip. Those What Will the Maid things I did. Mm-hmm. I created like half of them one night in a New York hotel, just fucking powering through and just being like a fucking beast. And then all of a sudden I was going to do like some press. Thank you very much. And my publicist was like, "The fuck's wrong with you? You need to get some sleep." And I was like, "I don't need sleep. Like, fuck it, I don't need sleep."
All right, you don't know the line. You're a man.
Wait, is this tequila or whiskey?
Cheers, gents.
Jack Daniels. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers to your
to the good life.
So yeah, I witnessed what he did, and I was like, man, I connected with it. I don't know. I think everyone's had those late night drinking episodes where you're fucking partying, and it's you having a private show for yourself in your hotel room. I mean, I won't say everyone, obviously. It's definitely me. It's definitely me. But I fucking enjoy it. You ever just get high and just fucking listen to music by yourself?
Totally.
Yeah, when I was a teenager.
You did when I was an adult on the road, for real?
No, I didn't get high when I was a teenager, actually, but I listened to music by myself a lot. But now I listen, I enjoy music, yeah. I mean,
you don't just have like Pete Corielli. You guys know Pete Corielli?
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful guy.
Yeah, Pete and I share similar interests in the fact that we love to have private shows, where it's you in your hotel room, lights are out, headsets in, blaring music, drinking, smoking a cigarette or whatever, and just really fucking jamming out. You don't have those?
No, I'll just watch TV.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Doug, there's so much I don't know about you.
Doug is the most amazing person in the world. You know the greatest part, Doug, by the way, of getting to know you was being in Vegas with you, just playing slots with you. I was like, this is the first time I've ever hung out outside of a comedy club and outside of, like this is just me and Doug at a casino. Like we're outside of like everything that I'm used to with Doug. Like I would love to just go to AutoZone with Doug.
I want to go to an amusement park.
That
with
would be
Doug.
weird. I've never really have a reason to go there, but
I want to.
Yeah,
have you ever upgraded your fucking car with just like miscellaneous mirrors and air fresheners? It's like the greatest feeling ever. Like those little round mirrors that you put on your fucking side things. That's the best.
Hold
fucking
on, I'm going to
upgrade
support
ever.
you on this. There is some fun to throwing some pinstripes to your car and throwing a fucking some grill marks that looks like your car has side grills, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
There
is some cool shit.
I was gonna shit on what you were saying, Brian, but that is kind of fun.
It's so fun.
Put an extra keyhole on your side of your door.
It's like going to Target. Like you go to Target, you'll buy some fun shit that you're not. That's like blowing your money. That's like hey, I have $30 to $40. I'm just going to do a bunch of shit that I don't need. Like I'm going to buy a fucking T-shirt that has like the Whopper on it, just because it's so funny because the Whopper is so gross and things like that. Like
sometimes you stray off. I would have ended on the. I want to go to an amusement park with Doug badly.
Oh yeah, Six Flags.
Doug,
Fuck that new.
I got bit all the fuck up at Cedar Point the other day.
Oh, you went to Cedar Point?
Yeah, I got
what
bug
rides
bites
you go on?
all over the place.
Did you go on the Magnum?
Magnum beat the fuck out of me. That was a really violent
Do you get high
ride.
when you
What's
go to these
Cedar
parks?
Point?
Of course I do.
Do you really?
Professional.
Did you go on what else did you go on?
The great ride there, I think. The two great rides are I really like.
I'll tell you what the worst.
There's
roller
three
coaster
great
is.
ones. There's Millennium Force, Maverick, and Top Thrill Dragster are all great.
The wooden roller coaster.
That one
is
kicked
horrible.
my ass.
It's the dumbest
Mean
roller coaster in the
Streak.
road.
Mean Streak.
Mean Streak is the dumbest
It's
fucking
really
roller coaster.
fucking violent.
Guys,
Yeah,
this
it's like,
is-
hey, I want to kill myself.
I'm kind of the foremost authority on roller
Oh
coasters.
yeah, you are,
in
Bert the
world,
Conqueror. So you've been out in the mean
really
streak.
Awkward right now.
They say that Millennium Force is third only to King Dakar and one other one in Germany.
What's the greatest roller coaster in the world, Bert?
I will give you my expertise.
What's your top 3 roller coasters?
Now we find out why he brought up why he'd like to go to an amusement park with me, so
No,
he can
not
tell
at
me
all, you
tell me
cocksucker.
all of his
Doug.
fountain of
Listen, but I will-
information.
Doug, I would love to talk because I know you do actually do like roller coasters.
Just tell us, Kaiser Soze.
I hope that you've been listening that long that you get how funny that is. The top, I do not like King Dakar. I don't like King Dakar because I think it's too tall and too fast, and I don't. Think
Oh well, those are the two things I'm looking for: is
Nope.
too tall and too
It's-
fast.
You don't experience the ride enough because to get you that high, they got to get you going too fast. So you don't really experience the rollover, like the fall over, like you do in Top Thrill Dragster. If I had to do one of the two rides,
What about in Maverick? The first drop, you go under. You actually kind of go
Maverick
back a little
first
bit.
drop is a beast. The only problem is the restraints in Maverick. If you're gonna ask me, in my personal opinion, the best drop there is to have in any roller coaster anywhere in the country is the Intimidator at Carowinds. The Intimidator is like
Where's Carowinds?
320 feet.
Where's that at?
It's on the border of North Carolina, South Carolina. It's 320 feet, and the restraint is ridiculous. Your feet don't touch the ground. The restraint holds only
like
your
a dangler.
waist. Your feet holds only waist. So when you fall, you have nothing to fucking hold on. Nothing's holding your shoulders. You're literally held in barbershop style.
That's how a Millennium Force is. It's just like a bar in your lap, just a little bar in your lap.
I love Millennium Force. That was one of our favorite rides.
It's pretty cool.
Millennium Force. It was what was it? Millennium Force, Maverick, Top Thrill Dragster, and Wicked Twister. Wicked Twister is a great ride, but it's a one of those magnetic propulsion rides, and it's like, you know, they're all the same. They're all identical. You're not going to find one that's better than the other one. I love, like, there's one.
Did you do Mr. Freeze in St. Louis?
No, there's a Mr. Freeze in.
There's a couple Mr. Freezes. They're not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, I did the Mr. Freeze in Texas. It's where you go up, come back, and then come back, and then go back.
Yeah,
the same
you
way.
do. It's like kind of like Top Thrill Dragster, but
Yeah.
you do it backwards.
Those are my favorite because I like a magnetic propulsion ride that shoots you up and then straight up right away. I love I love that, and I love the peak. But I love it when it's timed perfectly and you peak and you drop. I love feeling a drop. That's my favorite thing.
I like
out
a
of
good
all
drop, and that's my favorite thing in roller coasters is just a smooth ride and the right right restraints.
I can promise
I like
you-
just being comfortable the whole time. Like when
Yeah.
it bats you around,
I
like
agree.
that's like Maverick. I had to hold my hands on the things next to the thing and put them against my face so that my ears wouldn't get boxed on the sides of the thing.
You know what? I don't like going backwards. I don't like that spinny
like
shit.
backwards.
Like there's some roller coasters. I forget the name of it that just spin you the whole time you're going through the roller coaster. I don't want to puke at
It's
all.
the
I like the
X thing.
X at Magic Mountain where you
know what?
flip over while you're dropping. That's pretty
I
fun.
never did that ride.
Oh, it's fun.
And I worked there for fucking like 13 weeks. Did every ride at the park. And the day we were supposed to shoot that, I hurt my neck. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, and I, you know, in all honesty, when I started doing these shows, I was never like a acer, like, you know, like an enthusiast. And then all of a sudden I became like a super hardcore enthusiast where I was like, literally if you said to me, Bert, we're going on one ride right now, maybe it would be Carowinds Intimidator. It's a great fucking ride. But one of my favorite rides I loved was Superman out at
Six Flags?
Six Flags.
Magic
Because
Mountain?
We had it. It was ours.
You
The
just
whole
shoot
park-
up and then drop back down.
the park was ours the whole time we shot there, so we could do it as much as we wanted, and we would just sit
That's fun.
when the sun was setting, and we would just keep doing it until the sun went down. And it was the most beautiful, one of the most funnest memories. So I was in town, I was making money, and I was just riding this roller coaster for fucking, I was like, everyone's wrapped. And like, you'd see the fucking camera ops and the fucking sound guys take their shit off and go, look, get me in. And I could do it as much, you know, like I was the dude. I did that with Warren Sapp, man. And then Warren Sapp gets done. Warren Sapp is not notorious for being like a huge media guy. Like he doesn't like doing shit like this, but he loves roller coasters. So Warren Sapp says to me,
Buccaneer.
yeah, tell me about it, right?
How
So I
come?
tell him, he goes, we did
Busch
this ride.
Gardens.
And I say to him, he goes, man, I want to do all these rides. And I go, Warren, I get a guy, when I do these, I get a guy that can just fucking open up any ride. What do you want to do? And he goes, all of them. I go, take off, man. Take my guy and go. He takes my guy, and literally, we're shooting like interviews, and you just see a fucking 360-pound black man just fucking loving the shit out of a roller coaster park by himself, sitting in the front row. Then you see him in the back row. It was like the coolest fucking thing, man. And yeah, we're going with my kids to Knott's Berry Farm on Friday. My kids love roller coasters. I never liked them growing up.
You're gonna get coked up and take the kids?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Jordan, what is Jordan?
The last, I'm not like a roller coaster aficionado like you guys are, but the last roller coaster I was on was the Rocket at Universal in Orlando.
Oh, is that the one where they blast music?
You get to choose your music. You got like
chili peppers.
You choose rap.
I know a fucking dickload about roller coasters.
You can choose rap, or you can choose rock or country or whatever, and you got like 4 or 5 choices on each category. And the Beastie Boys, I forget which tune it is. Jesus Christ! But to listen to the Beastie Boys,
I bet you it's Sabotage.
It's Sabotage. That's what it is.
Yeah.
To listen to the Beastie Boys, thank you, Doug. To listen to the Beastie Boys Sabotage, it doesn't matter if there's a magnificent drop or what, just flipping around. It's like,
and listening to that, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well,
but I think that does have a really good drop at the beginning, the Rocket.
Yeah.
Because I think you go out straight and then drop into it, like almost dropping into a half pipe or something.
Hey guys, guess what? It's time for us to take a 30-second break.
I won't be back after the break.
No.
None of us will.
I gotta go.
Let's all go watch Joe.
I gotta go.
All right, we all go then.
Let's go.
All right.
We're all
say goodbye.
going.
Let's say goodbye.
Doug Benson, DougBenson.com. Anywhere near, close.
DougLovesMovies.com.
Doug Love Movies. Bert Kreischer.
Trip Flip on Travel Channel Thursday nights at 9.
All right. And Tom Rhodes.
TomRhodes.net.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Sorry for the quick. I wanted to talk roller coasters with these guys, but these guys are all like, my pussy hurts. Sorry. Anyways, we have a show Friday night. I'm putting together a really silly fucking show. So if you're in LA Friday night, go to icehousecomedy.com and search for Death Squad. And we're there Friday night at 10 o'clock. And it's going to be a silly fucking show, I promise you. And the podcast is going to even be better than the show. Anyways, the new Death Squad shirts at the printers. Thank you guys for listening. Follow us later.